Welcome back to Saturday Day. Welcome to Sunday Day Live. First day ever, I believe, that we went live on a Sunday. Welcome back to everybody who's joining us live. Also, StreamYard reminded me earlier this morning. Thank you for everybody that is catching this on a replay too. You know, everybody go live. Many more people end up watching it on the replay several times over than end up catching it live, and that's totally cool, and we appreciate that. But we appreciate everyone that's here today live on a very special day. And I'll start off with the first of our special guests, Waltorr, the man, Waltorr Hagen. Thank you so much for joining us today. How are you, my friend?
Thank you, man. It's just an honor. I love doing all these shows with you guys. It's like hanging out with my friends. Like, I know all of you guys. I talk to you guys. I text you guys, and been able to visit in person. It's always an honor, man. I love all this stuff. I'll stop whatever I'm doing to come online and hang out with you guys. You guys know that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and thank you again. We really appreciate it. After everything that happened, everything that was announced last week, I couldn't wait to have a chance to talk to you more about that stuff and a lot of the great videos you've been posting with your son recently. But continuing with the intros, we have a second special guest, Mr. Dave Orkin. Dave, how you doing, my man?
I am doing good.
Thank you also for joining us. Dave was good enough. I was hoping to have him on with us a couple of weeks ago, and then I had some family stuff going on. I always have some family stuff going on. And everybody was real cool about coming back a different day. So thank you for being here with us. Looking forward to discussing all of your thoughts about Cosmic Legions and the exclusives that have been revealed so far. So I can't wait to talk to you about that, my man.
Sounds good.
Heck yeah.
And then, of course, my good buddies, Eric LeBron, Ryan Gonzalez. Eric, what's going on, my man?
It's a beautiful Sunday, man. Glad to have the day off and enjoying it with you guys. And like I said, always happy to talk toys, dude. Always.
Yes, sir.
Hell yes.
Ryan and Amber, what's going on, guys?
Hey guys.
Amber's mic'd up too. Here we go.
She tucked you tuck her in the background. You could see her with that bright shirt.
That's right.
She just got back from the beach, so she's a little darker, so it's kind of hard to see.
Yeah.
She needs that, the bright yellow to kind of like pump it up in the background.
I want you guys to be able to see me.
Contrast.
Yeah.
What beach did you go to, if I can ask?
Cape May.
Oh,
Cape
okay.
May. That's
Yeah.
kind of sort of where I'm from. I went to Ocean City High School, so that's in Cape May County. So, although I live technically in Atlantic County.
Same here.
Where's
Atlantic
that?
County.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
So that is South Jersey.
Okay.
Cape May County is along the coast near the bottom. On the coast side. Ocean City, New Jersey is, I think, northern Cape May County, I want to say. A lot of times when people go to the beach in Cape May Courthouse, that area, it's south of Ocean City. But I lived in a tiny little town called Corbin City, which is about as far inland as you can live and still end up in Ocean City. So where did you grow up, Dave?
I grew up in Mays Landing. I went to Oakcrest.
Oh, nice.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
I lived in Mays Landing until second grade. We didn't move to Corbin City in second grade, so I went to Shaner Elementary School.
Yeah, I went to Shaner.
I lived right on River Road.
Yeah, I know exactly where it's at.
Yeah, that's freaking
Small
awesome.
world.
Look at
Man.
us.
Small world.
And then I moved from Mays Landing to South Philly for like 10 years, and then I came back to Jersey. But I'm in Turnersville now, so.
Nice.
And then
All right.
Steph was saying that she went to Rutgers with you, or close to the same year or something.
Well, it's possible because I went to Rutgers for a very long time.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with the movie Van Wilder.
Yep.
Imagine that, but like not nearly as cool. That was me. I graduated Rutgers undergrad in 2002, and I went to Rutgers Law School after that. So if that gives you any time frame there.
Gotcha.
All right. Real quick, before we get into some good toy talk, I wanted just to give a shout out to some of the people who have been hopping in the chat. Michael Cat hopping in the chat yesterday. What's up, Michael Casper? first comment of the night. That's usually reserved for Dave Orkin, whatever if it's us or Legion's Lounge.
Yeah.
Stephanie also checking in yesterday. And yes, it was Mike beating Dave to the punch. Curtis Ackerman, what's going on, my man?
What's up?
Walter checking everybody out. Dave, Ryan, Jay Wright with some very interesting information here. Hedgehog Action was his band's name in high school.
Oh, wow.
Well, my band in high school name was Jay Wright, so I guess we're just
There you go.
Jay's my buddy up in Canada. I think he's about 9 hours north of where I live, up in Canada. And he's I was just talking with him for about 20 minutes online, back and forth. I was like, oh yeah, so he's my dude up in Canada. Like he's trying to come out to like Legion's Con, and he'll buy stuff. I'll have it sent to my house, repack it, send it to him to save on customs and everything else. That's my dude. He's awesome. He's celebrating his 23rd wedding anniversary today too. So.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Happy
Wow.
anniversary.
Congrats.
Jay.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah, that's a good dude right there.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for I was going to say thanks for carving out a little bit of time on your anniversary day to spend with us.
Right.
Nice dude.
And we got more here. Allison Troy,
Allison.
Greetings to you as well. Thank you for joining again. Jesse Arnold, what's up, Jesse?
Jesse.
Trevor checking in. What's up, Trevor?
Trevor.
Love that
Legends
dude.
Collector 1321. Dylan, what's going on? I saw Dylan in the another live this morning as the Odious Kickstarter was funded. Was watching that live with
Yeah.
some people.
Oh,
Dylan
yeah.
was in there.
Did that
Jesse,
get funded?
please.
Yep.
It did.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
did.
good.
So
You know,
it made it by like 5K.
Wow. Odious guy lives about an hour south of me.
Yeah, he's always talking about going to like Frankincense and stuff.
Yeah, he's not far from me. He lives just I think in Morgan Hill, which is about 2 hours south of where I live. Actually, I hit him up one time when he was doing his custom heads by molds and everything one time. And I was like, dude, I need one of those things for my Mythic Legions. And he was like, well, what are Mythic Legions? So we ended up BSing for quite a while about that.
Yeah, and I know that he ends up, and we're talking about Wade from Unparalleled Universe. For anybody that doesn't know, he's essentially a YouTuber, a toy collector. He's probably known for doing reviews, and also he goes live Tuesday and Friday nights.
Hilarious dude too.
And he got into Mythics. I guess it was probably you that did it, because he made a couple of videos.
Yeah, I hit him up quite a bit, and I started talking to him about it. And I mean, obviously, like I talk a lot about Mythics, but he was super cool, man. Like I hit him up and was just like, man, that would be so cool to get your heads, put it on the Mythic Legions. And eventually, I got one, and he even painted it for me, and it matched the Romulus. So I pulled off the Romulus Spartan type of head, put it on there. Now it's like this crazy custom custom Romulus Odious character. Man, I've had that thing for a couple of years now, and like I said, it worked out too that he was a few times I told him, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna come down and meet you, and he's just like who are you again, like I'm like, dude, you're like an hour and a half away. I'm gonna jump on the bike, I'm gonna come visit you. I'm like, I'll come give you a couple Mythic Legions. He's like, oh, like who are you? Like, what's going on here? But he's actually real cool. He's funny as hell too. He's one of those guys like just jokes all the time, and you wonder if he's serious about half the crap he's talking about,
Yeah, and it was just cool that like somebody like in the community that had an original character that they had been working on for so long, sort of, they were able to do the Kickstarter, get advice from the right people, and like get it funded. So that was cool.
Yeah.
Like seeing that. But guys, I don't even want to waste any time. We all know the number one reason why we're here. And Walt, my good man, I'd always love having you on, man.
Anytime, man. You guys know that.
Yeah. I don't know. Jesse doesn't believe it. Jesse says, Walter, I don't buy it. I cannot believe you tell anyone about Legions. Doesn't add up.
Doesn't add up.
Yeah.
Not at all.
It's like, I mean, it's like sometimes I wonder if it's too much or I'm just like way too excited about something, or just I'm like, I don't know. It's just I'm like one of those guys that like, just if I'm excited about something, I want to talk about it. I just love talking about it, and I have a lot of friends. You guys know I love talking to everybody I love talking and texting anytime any of you guys, message me and call or be in person, or, like even just more than a month ago visiting Eric at his house. It's just like, I'll talk about this stuff nonstop.
Yeah.
And,
but it wouldn't be you if you didn't, bro. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be you.
I believe a lot of times, like, I don't like talking about people's like jobs and work, and like that's stuff that like most people don't want to talk about. Yeah. And it's that filler conversation where people meet you and go, oh, hey, nice to meet you, but what's your name? And oh, okay. And and they're trying to like get to know you, and they're just trying to like scale you out and be like, so what do you do? And a lot of times, all the years that people would look at me and they'd ask, and they're looking at me, and 90% of the time, like, I don't shave, and I'm this, I got dirty clothes on. I'm like, yeah, I just mow lawns for a living. And they're just like, oh, okay. But if you talk to people about what they like and, their hobbies and their actual persons, and it's a real icebreaker, and you get to meet people and find their interests. And, it's so much easier to get people to open up and tell them, and have them tell you about themselves, instead of trying to pry out of them what they like, or just what they do. That's like, oh yeah, I've got my job, and I mow lawns. I got one kid and a wife and a house, and this, like, nobody wants to talk.
Right.
Nobody
like
wants
you
to
said,
talk
like
that.
the filler. You know what I mean? It's just filler.
Yeah, nobody wants to like really talk about that kind of stuff. That stuff comes out later on when you get to know somebody,
Yeah.
But you get people to open about their hobbies and what they like. It really changes how they express themselves and talk to you.
Right.
So
yeah.
100%. Real quick, I'm one of the plus in Jesse here. Jesse says, "Can coming over a great show? Congrats, Walter."
Yep.
And indeed, congrats, Walter.
Thank you guys.
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And
Well deserved, long time coming, bro.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, I
mean,
mean,
don't get me too like worked up and get me crying. I've already done that once this week. Yeah.
That is the absolute goal of this episode.
Exactly.
Yeah. No,
we gotta build you up to knock you down.
Yeah,
right?
Man. Like, and with like, especially with this crowd, like, Eric's my dude. Dave, I talk to like on the regular.
Yeah.
Jonathan, you're awesome. Ryan, you and your lady are just some of the nicest, happiest people every time I see you guys back east. And it's one of those, I've talked to Dave about this even earlier today. It's like, man, I get to see you guys maybe once or twice a year, but like when I get to see you guys, it's like it never dropped off, and it's just like instant. Hey, how's it going, you guys? What are you doing? Let's do this and hang out. And it's like it never. To me, it like never skipped a beat, and just instantly recognize you guys and see you in person. And same thing with you, Jonathan. It's like seeing you and your kid and everything. It's just, just the happiest people, man. Like, and always the nicest people, man. Like,
I feel kind of spoiled this year. We're already going for 3 in-person meetups this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty.
Yeah, you guys did the Mythic meetup, right?
Yeah.
So like the official in Cali, and then you guys hung out at Eric's place.
Eric's beautiful home. Yeah, we even Eric and I even have a couple things like we went by a spot in Southern California to potentially do another Mythic meetup and meet somebody down there. Nice. So that's like slow burn, talk to you, and we're hoping to make something like that happen down in Southern California, because I think that area is just ripe for another Mythic meetup, and not only that, just the location and the people that are down there are just super awesome.
Yeah, definitely good folks that I definitely was happy to introduce you to, and like I said, I think we have good potential for another great meetup, even way bigger and better than the first one. So it'll definitely be cool.
Yeah.
So, I mean, listen, West Coast needs it.
Yeah.
How much sleep actually happens when you two guys get together?
Oh, dude.
None.
Yeah. The first night I got there, we didn't go to sleep till about 2-3 o'clock in the morning.
Man, we were up
And then the second
We were
night,
up,
yeah, it was like
we were up like all night. Like it was like
all night.
but we were
dude.
just like having drinks, BSing, looking at stuff. And then mind you too, we like I had like
we went and mowed lawns together.
yeah, dude, it was awesome.
I went
Like,
with
he's just
Walter
like,
and mowed
yeah.
some lawns for him. It was great.
He's like, what do you need help with? I'm like, bro, if I can get this done, bang this out, I'll be done early. Then we'll go get Walter. Then we go back to the house. Then we're going out to Sacramento. He's like, let me know what I got to do. I was like, dude, if you mow that lawn right there, like I'll do the back. We'll bang this out in like 10 minutes and we're out of here.
I was
He's
all
like,
over it, dude.
Like no stop, no hesitation. He's just like, and he's off. He's going. And I'm like, dude, I need to have Eric up more often, man. Like this to make my life a lot easier. Like
Hell yeah, that
And
was
then,
dope, dude.
but
I was involved.
yeah, we were up till like at least 2-3 o'clock almost every night, and up
Yeah.
at like easily up at like 6-7 the next day, getting ready, load the truck. And I mean, you guys saw the videos and photos. Like I had my truck, everything just crammed in because I got a big old 1-ton truck, and everything crammed in there, and like stacked in between us. Like we're driving down the highway, you couldn't even see us, but we were up, man. It was, we had 18-20 cases of figures and tables and everything, and we were opening stuff and checking things out and just thinking of ideas and customs and who we're going to be hanging out with.
There was definitely no sleep, dude. Definitely no sleep.
Yeah, and then not even including the idea of like, oh dude, like David Williams is gonna be there, we got to meet up with them, and who's picking up Nate and blah blah blah. Like we had so much going on. It was not just like you're just basic like, oh, I'm gonna go see these people on the weekend, and then I go back to the hotel. It was like, he was.
Yeah, we definitely had some responsibilities to cover that weekend. That's for sure, man. But we made it happen. That was cool. We made it happen. We knocked it out, man. It was a great time. It was great to see all those people, man.
Oh yeah, it was so much fun. So
cool to meet so many new people too, like Chris and freaking Joe Gonzalez and all those guys. And yeah, so cool, man. So cool.
Yeah.
All right, so I just wanted to throw something in here now. Like, we've seen this now on a couple pieces of the packaging, but Walt, you posted this in I think the Cosmic Cabal, that on the back of the Cosmic Legions figures. So from the very first wave here, Four Horsemen have been doing the credits now for the people that had a hand in the line, and bang, right there, Chief Brand Ambassador Walter Hagen credited on the packaging.
Yeah.
I wanted to throw that up there because it was a really cool thing to see, and everyone agrees. Like, you're the perfect ambassador for this community, man. What was that like when you first saw that on there?
So one thing is, first of all, thank you guys, and thanks to everybody at the studio more than anything, because they started doing this not too long ago, and like Jim and CV and Eric and Jeremy were just like, to fill in kind of that void and space, they wanted to like acknowledge everybody that helps and puts in and does this, everything from production to, they're honoring everybody on there that they can. And it's so nice that they do that, because I mean, they don't have to, but they're such great guys that they do this to show the respect and acknowledge those that are helping, making things and getting the name out there and having fun doing it, because it's just helps them in general. And then the cool thing I love about it being, this was the first package that I had seen with my name on it, and they sent me like the full print, the full back of the box, and I had no idea, and I was like looking at it like, oh, that's cool, look at that. But I had no idea, and it was super cool, and like just blown away that they would do that. And honestly, a lot of times I thought it was more like this was just for that series and all the help that I did, and and that was it. I had no idea. But then when Jeremy and a couple of the guys, mostly Jeremy Gerard, had explained to me, like, we're doing this why we're doing it, and this is going to be on all the packages from, you know, X to forever, you know. And I was like, damn, man, that's pretty cool. And like in that acknowledgement, to where it's just like, I was not expecting that. And it's like a humbling moment to where they're just like, yeah, we got to put you on there. Like, you do so much for us. You spread the word, you do the community, you helped 1 million people, and this. And I'm just like, oh man, okay, that's cool. Like, and by all means, like I said, like, I was not expecting it, and it's such an honor and awesome thing to get. And then to find out, this wasn't the first one, but they actually did it on All Stars previously. And then they started adding it to the other boxes. So like, I hadn't gotten this box in hand yet, like everybody else. I haven't gotten one, this and that. And then, but I had already had like the All-Star boxes. So even recently, Dennis Derby had mentioned to me, he's like, you know, you're on like the Figure Obscura box, you're on, you know, this box. I had no idea, and I went out in the garage and some of my stash, and I started pulling out boxes and looking, and I was like, dude, like, I'm not just on like Cosmic Legions, like, but like I'm on like 3 or 4 boxes now. Like, I'm like, wow, you know, I was like in the garage, like just like tripping out on it. I'm like, dude, like, so like I have a couple of boxes sleeved out now, and I like figured a way to like cut them and frame them out or something, just for my own acknowledgement. And then made that post and, you know, send it to my mom and my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, and showed my wife, my son, and I was just like, wow, check it out, look, like I'm on a box. Like,
definitely an epic moment, man. I mean, like I said, that'll stand the test of time. It's so cool. That's just like I said, and such a huge kudos to the 4-H team for acknowledging, you know, as many people as they can that are involved with this toy line. And you know, it's, you know, what other company does that? I mean, Hasbro doesn't do it, Mattel doesn't do it. You know, what other company gives any kind of recognition to their artists, their promotion people, their shipping team, their painters, anything of any sort? You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I mean, a big shout out to those guys for like I said, the acknowledgement. You know what I mean? And finding, you know, even the guys that, I mean, you know, you don't make the toys, you know what I mean? I mean, you're like you said, you know, you realize that you're a guy who started a Facebook group, and, you know, it took off. It doesn't mean that you're a toy designer or a painter or a sculptor or anything like that. But yet, like I said, they give you the well-deserved recognition, and they put you, and they say, hey, man, this guy's part of why this is successful as well. You know what I mean? And they recognize that. So
yeah, they have run with it very well, and they'll admit, and they've told me, and they have told me in person, publicly, on the videos, everything, that they're just like, you know, without you, we probably wouldn't have gotten this far. And even years ago, like, one of my favorite stories telling people was like, you know, when they came to me for like the first time, and they recognized me in line and invited me in and said, we want you to do this, and we don't know how to do this Facebook thing and Instagram, and we see like all the good stuff that you're doing and how you interact with people, and just how you went about bringing this thing up, and just slowly building it. Like, I wasn't looking for like likes and follows and, you know, 50,000, you know, followers or nothing. I was just like, this is cool, you know.
You're just doing it as a fan. That's what makes it so real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it, I mean, and they brought me in and know that, like, we want you to help us with this, and I go, yeah, that's no problem. And I mean, for years, like, I've told people, like, I didn't get paid for it. I wasn't looking for money or anything like that. I just had fun, and told them, like, I'll be that guy that'll come out to all your events and show up and hang out. And they're just like, wow, like, okay. And I had fun in that sense. And it took years before they more or less like cornered me and said, like, we've got to pay you for this. We're going to like give you X, Y, and Z. So we feel good about it. And I'm just like, okay, like, I'm not going to argue with you. And they're like, no, we're doing this because you do so much, and we can't not do this for you and help you and everything else. So then it turned into one of those things, and it's been like legitimately, I've been like employed in quote unquote, where I have an employee number and get paid and all that stuff for 3 years now. It'll be 3 years at PowerCon.
The cool thing about it too, if you think about it, I mean, it's like I said, it's kind of cool to be witness to it. As long as I've known you already, and your involvement. And the first time I met you at Designer Con, actually, I mean, we probably bumped shoulders at PowerCon 2019, but I didn't know you at the time. I didn't know the cabal and the whole nine. But in the time frame that I've been a part of this and meeting everybody here, it's been crazy to stand witness to what's happened between you and the Four Horsemen Studios, and watching something that's probably never happened within the toy industry as it's happened here, where they've a toy company has recognized something and sort of captured that lightning in a bottle in what they saw in you, and how that could obviously expand their potential for success with their toy line, success of a community, success of toy collecting. You know what I mean? And it's all been a whirlwind since then, and it's no way in shape or form slowing down. And it's all been based off of, like I said, obviously the fan base for 20 plus years of people who were following Four Horsemen Studios toy design into, okay, let's see what they're going to put out as their new latest adventure as far as toys, as a unit outside of like the McFarlanes or the Mattels or the Hasbro lines. And then here comes Walter Hagen, who, starts a Facebook group, and let's get some people that are, involved or liking and enjoying this toy line into what we have now, which is, one of the best communities out there in all of toy collecting. I mean, I'll say it, and I don't think there would be anybody that would disagree with me that, the community is absolutely one of the best out there. And, to go from, like you said, I heard you talking in another podcast about where the first Legions Con basically started in a broom closet, and now, I mean, we're, quadruple the size of what the first event was, and it's like we're thousands of people involved, and vendors and artists and everything. It's like I said, it's all just been a whirlwind of positivity and success throughout. And that's, like I said, it's humbling to see it from our perspective, you know what I mean? And like I said, I'm grateful to be part of it and to witness it, man. It's just awesome.
Thank you. Yeah.
And kudos and there's some stuff there that I probably didn't even really know about. But kudos to the studio for recognizing, what, you can actually bring to the table here, because we've said it a million times, right? That the idea is that people come for the figures, they stay for the community, right?
Mm-hmm.
And spearheading that is Walt. Like, I remember the first time I met Walt, first time I met you in person was at Intern for a Day 2 years ago, right? And everybody was cool. What's that? Oh yeah, best intern year. Not close. Objectively, everyone agrees. Eric and Dave were at some good intern years too. Also good, really good. Not as good as 2021 in the fall, but really good. But yeah, I mean, everybody was really cool. But like, Walt, you were the first one that came up directly to us and just started talking. And you just have like, it's genuine. You know what I mean? Like, you take in people and everything, and it makes people feel comfortable. And that just, like you said, it continued. I'd be standing in line at ZoloCon, and here comes Walt saying, "Hey, what's up?" And he remembers my kid, and that means a lot to me. Yeah. So it's true. I mean, by your efforts, the community has become much bigger than I think it otherwise would have, and that's why people stay and come back. And one of the reasons why this thing can continue to grow, why events on the West Coast make all the sense in the world, stuff like that. It's due in no small part to you, my friend.
Thank you. Yeah, it blows my mind at times, when starting from the beginning and remembering what it was, and I love all that stuff, and just like the the visuals that I have in my head. I'm really good at like remembering stuff and seeing things and all that kind of stuff and faces and everything. It just comes from years of just interacting with people and being in sales and marketing and stuff like that in a prior generation with my dad. And you would come up and you'd meet people, excuse me, and you'd come up and you'd meet somebody like Dave Orkin and you talk to them, like I said, like a real person, like somebody that you've known already. And a lot of times it blows people away that you're going to interact with them in that sense, where you're like you've known them for years, and yet you walk up for the first time and it's just like, hey, nice to meet you. What's your name? Oh, hey, nice to meet you, Dave. Oh, this is your wife, Steph. Cool.
Yep.
Where you guys live? Are you coming in for the first time? Blah, blah, blah. And I go through the whole spiel, and but it's genuine to where like I can meet with people. I've had interactions with people that just, they're kind of standoffish and don't want to, like a lot of people are very quiet, but you have that awkward interaction and it breaks the ice. So I'm coming up and I'm just like, hey, smiling, nice to meet you. I've met all sorts of people, and it just means the world to me. And I can see it in those people, like those people have some kind of relation and interaction immediately, and breaking the ice and talking to somebody. See, there's Timothy. I love that, you too. But it's that kind of stuff. You walk up like someone like Timothy, never been to a show before. First time he'd ever went to a show was our show up in Sacramento. Young kid, going to college, lives with family, hardcore collector, brought out a whole bunch of stuff.
Baller.
Yeah, super cool dude. And he comes out. I've been to his house like twice now. He's like, oh my God, like he's genuinely like starstruck meeting me. And I'm like, dude, I'm just me. Like, I'm showing up to come hang out with you and what you're doing. And he's like, first time I ever met him, like going to get me, like go inside his house. He's like, I got food for you. I got barbecue. This and I go, yeah, bro, let's eat. And like, we're just sitting out on his patio and we're like just eating chicken and rice and everything. And he's just like staring at me. His eyes are like this big. And he's just like, I can't believe you're here. And I'm like, what else would I be doing, man? Like, I told you I was coming. And we traded some figures and off I went. And he's just, texted me like half a dozen times afterwards. And he was just like, dude, I can't believe you came out to my house. I'm like, why the hell not? Like, dude, like I'll come visit you if you're close by, But it's that kind of interaction where you can meet people and break the ice and talk to them and have some kind of, just relation and something that they can interact with and relate to where you see them once a year or multiple times a year or talk to them every single day.
Yeah.
It's just being, like I say a lot of times on the group, I said, just how you want to interact with somebody and how you would want to be treated. And if you treat them decent, you'll get it back. And, with this type of community, it's very, it's very quiet, low key, but at the same time, once you find that like-minded, having fun, I've got my action figures. Oh, dude, I got one of those. Let me show you my collection. You have an instant relationship and that connection to each other. And next thing you know, it goes from there where, you're going to people's houses or flying out to see them or whatever. So
absolutely.
It
reminds me of, when we went up to the Mythic meetup.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped, I was stopped by a couple of guys that I had met for the first time at Legion's Con last year. And, a couple of guys stopped me and, hey, you're Eric LeBron. Oh, hey man, what's going on? And, I stopped what I was doing and had a good 20-30 minute conversation with these two dudes. And one of them was Thomas Bellett. And it's like ever since then, I mean, we've had a great connection. And I was, like I said, he was one of the guys that came up with David Williams to the show. And David, I had been talking to for, quite some time and, developed a great friendship with him. And Thomas was, like I said, just remembering from that one conversation, he remembered me and we've struck a great friendship ever since then. So, it was one of those great moments to get back together and see somebody that, like I said, you've sparked that, that that friendship with. And, just like these guys, I mean, Ryan and Jonathan, I mean, after Legion's Con and coming back, and they wanted to start the Saturday Live thing. And, they invited me on one time, and, they said, hey man, would you like to do this on a regular basis? And I was like, yeah, dude, like, sure. That's, it's awesome. It's just, like I said, we're all from different, parts of the country and different backgrounds and stuff. But like I said, we have this one great thing in common that's nothing but positivity. And it's just, like I said, it just keeps every time someone new comes into the community, they realize like how special it is. It's not just a bunch of dick measuring or like, hey, I got this, I got these figures first and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? It's like there's so much of that, and there's so much kind of hate out there in other toy communities that people are just kind of getting sick and tired of it, and they've been looking for something, a breath of fresh air. And when they see something like this, they realize it isn't fake, it isn't just some kind of put on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
we're just taking over the show,
mentioned...
Jonathan. I'm just letting you know.
No, that's why that's why we wanted you to come on. I mean, you mentioned before though that it was sort of the Horsemen sort of came up to you and wanted to formalize the relationship. What about the beginning of like, how did you get into Mythics, and what was the impetus for starting the group in the first place?
Mostly is just like I was collecting other toys. I like a lot of old stuff, and Dave and I talked about this all the time. And I was huge in collecting into like Battle Beasts and the little 2-inch figures. And I just love that stuff to death. And I was online buying and selling and trading that stuff for years. And like I had a pretty good reputation. That's what I did. And then of all people, I started seeing on Instagram, and I started seeing like photos pop up of like 6-inch figures, and I was like, oh, these are cool. And then like the Kickstarter had kind of come and gone, and a friend of mine that I would talk to, not regularly, but I ended up talking to him, a lot more often. And he's going, dude, you need to like get on these. They're going to be out soon. They just finished their Kickstart. They're amazing. The photography's real cool. Like Sergeant Bananas, was taking photos of these things, and he doesn't live too far from me either. But he was one of those that like they were putting those photos out, and like the realistic. I'm like, oh, these are really cool. I'm like, I don't know. And at the time, my son was like, he was probably like 1. Like it was like newborn age, where I become like a stay-at-home dad. And like I didn't have a lot of money coming in. I would do like side projects here and there. I'd have to like sell my old toys to buy something new. And it kept me busy, like mentally being at home, because like during the day, taking care of a newborn, he's hanging out. My son was a preemie. He had colic. So he was, up 2 hours, then sleep 2 hours. He'd up 2 hours and pissed off, and then he'd go back to sleep. So it was a ton of work. But in between those, like I started talking to people and watching things on Instagram. And like I said, the one guy I started to meet and talk to regularly was Ray Wu, who we now know is Rhaegar, the tribute. And I talk to everybody and anybody. Like it's one of those crazy things. Like I'll send people messages, and I'm that crazy guy that like, oh man, check this out. I love your photography. How'd you paint this and do this? How'd you make that diorama? And oh, I've seen you on YouTube. And a lot of these guys would be like blown away, like, who the hell's this guy? Because everybody's always been real standoffish. Once like Facebook really started to get like, I don't want to call it toxic, but it wasn't good. Yeah. And next thing I know, like I was just kind of interacting and talking with Ray all the time, and messaging him, and he was sending me messages like, dude, check out this figure, check out this one. And then he did like a series of figures where it was like a couple of the barbarian ones, the demons, and then I think he did Malleus at one point. And he's just like, I was like, all right, dude, like I'm gonna get one of these. So I ended up hitting him up, and he sent me a link of who to buy it from, where to get it. And I got like I always say, like, I'm pretty sure I got like the Barbarian Builder as like the first one, and which like to this day I still say to anybody, it's like if you're gonna start off somewhere, start with like the Barbarian Builder, because it's like a generic, simple character with like a ton of stuff in it. And if you don't like them this way, you could reset them and make them 3 or 4 different ways.
Yeah.
And if you really don't like it from there, you know that you're not gonna like it, you know. What do you say? Can someone check Dave's mic? Dave's chilling, man.
I'm chilling.
That's Dave, you know.
That's
how
Dave.
rolls.
Dave's there nowhere. But
This might be a good segue. Let's welcome Dave to the show here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Dave, I definitely had some questions for you in today's show, just to kind of give us a background of, obviously, a lot of people know you, from your design work and your the t-shirts that you make for the Cabal, which is, like I said, is unprecedented in any toy community, because nobody else does that for a community, and it's just the way Waltorr does the shirts, and obviously you're the man behind all that. Tell us about how you got started with that, or how long you've been doing that. Where did that all start for you?
I started printing t-shirts when I was in bands, late 90s.
Yeah.
I was in bands, so it was better to do it yourself.
Yeah.
So I guess it's about 27 years, I guess, now.
Man.
And I've been collecting.
Veteran.
I've been
Dave was a rock
collecting.
star.
Yeah, I've been collecting, other than the 70s and the 80s Star Wars and the Masters Universe and all that stuff. I got back into collecting, I guess, in 94, 95.
Mhm.
Power of the Force, Spawns,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yep.
Worked at Toys R Us, all that.
Nice. Hell yeah.
And there was a Toys R Us right down the street from my house,
Very cool.
so it was easy.
Working at a Toys R Us during the whole Power of the Force 2 thing, that's like
That was
a
crazy.
story that I've heard before. That must have been nuts.
It was absolutely nuts.
Oh yeah, dude.
And
I
now-
remember.
No one wants them now.
Yeah, I remember so many years when, in the mid 90s, man, toy hunting at its best, going to KB Toys, Toys R Us, Kmart,
Circus
everywhere.
World.
Yeah, everywhere to hunt down Power of the Force, man.
I mean, we had
freaking
what?
loved-
Everybody was carrying them, and there was
Oh
what,
yeah.
6 or 7 different toy stores.
Oh, easily. They weren't hard to find, but you
No.
still had to do a little bit of a hunt to find them. But man, those were great days of
Going to
of
Walmart at 6 o'clock in the morning when they
Yeah,
pack the shelves.
yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
they'd have like the pallets sitting in the middle of the aisles, and
You just open boxes.
You just start
box
opening
more,
for 'em.
yeah. bring your own cutting tool to open boxes. You're like, do you
Yep.
work here? Like, no, I don't. Don't mind me
Nope.
though. I know where these go. That's awesome.
And then Steph hitting us with the bear, because Bear was noted in the background here. Our third special guest, who we affectionately know as Bear, Waltor's son, who's a really cool dude in his own right.
That's right.
Yeah, he's running around coloring. He's walking by, checking to see if I'm still online.
Hell yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
before needed to pop this in there, and so we can get talking about this, because how this all sort of comes to be within the last couple of weeks is, I'll tell it from my perspective, and I'm interested to hear your guys' perspective too, is last Wednesday, July 12th, was my lady's birthday, my wife's birthday.
Cool.
She had to work. It's the middle of the week, but what I did is I dropped her off at work, and then I picked her up early, and then just on the way home, we just hit multiple spots on the way home, having a little, some appetizers, a couple of drinks.
Nice.
And I'm checking my every once in a while, I'll check my phone like you do when we're just chilling. And it was during the Horseman's Wednesday afternoon show, 4-ish o'clock. So I'm not watching the show, but I'm getting a couple of the updates while it's going on. And I see this picture and a couple other pictures. And it's the announcement of the Legion's Con Day 2 exclusive, a 2-pack of figures, which are tribute figures to Walter Hagen. And I absolutely lost it. I messaged Ryan and Eric immediately. And then for the next, pretty much since then, there's just been an absolute constant outpouring of love in the Mythic Legions Cabal Facebook group about people that were so freaking happy about it. For anybody that didn't see, some of the announcement during 4-ish Horseman O'Clock, number one, go back and check that out on the replay. But, Walter, what can you tell us about this? I know that I believe anyway, and I could be wrong about some of this. And if there's things you can't say, that's totally cool. But I think that maybe tell us your story about like how do you first find out about it? Then on the day of the reveal, are there other things that you find out? Like how did you feel? Like
they hit me up like about a month ago and said, I mean, you know, you need to be available on this date. I go, oh, okay, and they go, this is for, you know, like we're gonna talk about the cabal and it's getting close to 5,000,
yeah,
and all this kind of stuff, and just it was kind of like a distraction text message email thing. And I'm like, oh, dude, that's hella cool. You know, this is going to be great. And, you know, thanks so much. And as it got closer, I got like, you know, 2 days before, hey, don't forget on this day. I'm like, yeah, okay. You know, I'm like trying to get work done early. And then the next day it's like, oh yeah, don't forget. So I'm like, okay, like Jeremy, I'll be there. You know, I'm going to get done. I start at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'll be home so I can use the Wi-Fi. I'll have a better signal and this and that. And I'll get cleaned up. So I'm not like outside mowing lawns and everything still. And I had no idea. And the genuine reaction was what it was. So we're like, I was a loss for words. And I knew something was up in a sense because a couple people had called it and said like, this is going to happen. This is probably what they're going to do. And Dave and I had even talked at one point. They're like, man, what do you think they're going to do for like day 2? They need, you know, you think it's going to be another tribute or what? I'm like, I have no clue. Like Jeremy loves to keep stuff and have the control to release the information so that way it doesn't get leaked out or anything like that. And I'll totally get it. But at the same time, like I had like no idea. And it was super cool that it's super cool. Thank you, Ryan Reynolds. I can barely see that. I apologize.
Yeah, it's all right. Reynolds Cruz just commented, I feel like Waltorr Hagen is one of the most deserving of a tribute figure.
Man,
agreed.
Thank you, Reynolds.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyways, man.
Yeah, I was wondering because I don't really know how the whole thing worked. Like, and again, some of this I might just have wrong. I think Jeremy had a hand in designing Sir Gerard.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone else did on it, like, for like the Furious 4. That I don't think they had a hand in it or anything. So I wasn't really sure how that worked.
It's always been under the studio's control, and they have ideas of what to do and how to go about releasing it for those people, and they kind of always drop it in as a surprise. Jeremy was probably the only one that when his figure came out a couple years ago, it was like they brought him in the studio, they talked to him about it, and they said, we want you to, you know, your input because we're designing a figure after and named after you for Legion's Con. And he was like blown away and you know didn't know what to do kind of thing, and you know he wanted to make it out of like his figures and his parts and this and that. So he was super lucky in that sense, and just talks about it, loves it to death, which I find like that's awesome. For me, they didn't let me know. It was just complete surprise. And the only reason I kind of knew or figured out something was going on, maybe just a hint out of it, was that everybody started showing up. Like we were in the background chat like this, like before we got online, just like how we were doing. And everybody started plopping in and, you know, clocking in and everything. And I was just like, oh, damn, like everybody's here. Like, you know, like CV and I were BSing, and then Jeremy clicks on, and there's, you know, there's these guys, and there's Jim, and then there's, you know, them, and there's Joe, and I'm just like,
well, you know, when Jim shows up, there's definitely something going on.
Yeah. Jim's like he tells people like, you know, doesn't, you know, I don't need to do this and interview that, blah blah. Like he doesn't, he's not a big into it, but it's not like he's not willing to do it, but he's like, you know, they want to talk to Eric. CV's great at it, and Chris is awesome, and this and that. So when those guys started popping in, and then when Joe, like I said, when Joe Vitale popped in, I was like, oh damn, like everybody's here. Like I was just kind of sitting there like this. I'm just like, like this is kind of something. Like, and then it turned into that kind of thing where I was just like, oh wow. And then it was definitely one of those, like they start talking about it and asking me the simple questions and fun things and interacting and rambling like I do. And I was just trying to like be me and not think about like everybody's like sitting there watching me. And then like you could see like the stream building up too, you know, when you see like 50 or 75, 100 people, 140 people at one point are watching you at once. And, you know, I don't mind it, but at the same time, like I get online and I'm not expecting any kind of like big viewers or anything. And it's just me being me. And you can tell at one point, like Jeremy's just like, all right, I can't do this anymore. We got to let you know. And he reveals it. I'm just kind of like sitting there just like, damn, you know, I'm just like I didn't know what to say. And then at the same time, you know, they're saying congratulations and nobody else has, you know, deserved it more and that kind of stuff and all those just respectful things. And I'm like, at this point, I'm just trying to like look at the wall, the background of my refrigerator, just like focus on something else to be like, man, I'm going to freaking cry. This is ridiculous. Like,
yeah, like I said, man, if you didn't have tears during that broadcast, man, you just don't know, dude. It's like I said, I felt it wholeheartedly. It was so cool. It was like when they gave, you know, Greg his tribute at G-Con, dude. I mean, my freaking eyes just welled up with tears at G-Con, just, you know, just because Greg's such a cool dude, and like yourself, dude. It's like I said, so deserving, and you know, it's such an awesome thing as a toy collector, as a toy fan. You know, it's just so cool. Just, I mean, it's just, I don't think anything for any of us could top a moment like that or a tribute like that, to have a character named after you. I mean, there's nothing that, you know, there's nothing, twice. Yeah.
You got two.
Not only one.
First two-pack figure named after you. It's like, you know, how can you top that? I mean, like I said, the rest is gravy, man. It's so cool.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, and yes, going back like that, it's you like you nailed it. Like to see someone like Greg get something and watching him come out and him being excited. We got to, you know, take off with Greg later in the car, just BSing with him, and he was just the whole time like Greg's a big dude, but he's sitting there like all emotional and just like, oh my God, I'm buying like 20 of these things. And I'm like, dude, like you need to like focus on driving, bro. Like you need to like stop for a second. We'll drive. We don't know where you're going.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, but it was
that set, man. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah. It was,
I can't even imagine
crazy.
what I can't imagine what that was like from your perspective, but I also, it's hard to imagine what it was like from like the guy's perspective too. Like if it was me, I would be so excited and, you know, hey bear, just, you know, wanting to have that moment and reveal this, you know, just to be able to finally do that must have been very cool for them too, but mostly for you. And also
it was, I was gonna say it was a loss for words, man. Like the first initial part of it was definitely shock and awe, and just like I said, just kind of like looking around, not knowing what to say. And I mean, you guys know, like I talk a lot, I ramble. Like that's what I do. I just love talking about this kind of stuff. But to sit there and then have them, you know, have them all get online and talk about it and say like, you know, congratulations, you deserve it, this and this. And I'm just like, damn, like this is cool. And then to, you know, I could barely see the comments. And then like I had mentioned in the video and stuff like that too, it's like my phone went like this and I could see you guys interact to where like my phone, like I couldn't see. The whole screen was just continuous text messages and retext. All your friends and people and people that I've helped, people from the cabal that I've never met before.
Yeah, I didn't even bother texting you that night. Yeah. I'm like, dude, this guy's got so many texts. His phone's probably like on fire right now. Like I was like, dude, I'll text him or talk to him in a couple days because right now, dude, his fucking phone's going haywire right now.
Yeah, and it was completely understandable and respectful because it was everybody. I mean, it was everybody everywhere. I had like, I when I finally stopped, I went back and like shut down. You know, 30, 40 minutes later, I turned my phone and look. I had like 250 text messages and messages.
Christ.
And I'm like, dude, I mean, I've had like people text me before, and I tell people on average I get like 15 to 40 messages a day from different people, from so many different people, and it was just like, holy crap, like, and everything was nice. Congratulations, that's amazing, you deserve it, this and that, and I'm just like looking at my phone, I'm just like blown away live and this and that, and I'm watching, I'm just like, holy cow, I'm like, I can't see you guys. Like, I don't know what to say, I'm like, damn, this is nuts, man. So
yeah, so cool. And I love one thing that I love about the figures that obviously, like I said, was a full nod to something that's so special to you, is that they utilized some of the green armor, as a nod to Malleus and your love of Malleus. It's like, I mean, how much better could that be for you as a fan and a collector to get your tribute figure with that, that added little touch to it? That's so cool.
The nod and the acknowledgement to that, because the first photo that I can remember was the Waltorr figure, and he's got the banner and he's just like doing, and all the photos that Trevor did and everything like that, all those photos, and he's sitting there holding the banner with and Jeremy saying like, oh, this is part of the custom, these are the new parts, and all I can see and remember is just like the crazy amount of text message I was getting. And then here's that first photo of he's holding the banner and he's got the open mouth, and then he's saying, yeah, that one right there, and he's just sitting there going, it's got the Malleus armor style color, it looks like he's been to the same armory, and I'm just like, I'm like, dude, that's so like, I only need like one of those, but I know I want to get like 30 of those,
Yeah, it's just, and then you get the Mythic Legion's Call banner too that comes with it. Like, that's just insane. But they even took it up another notch. Like, and there's a lot about, and I said this, that night was also, Jeremy had his live, the Mythic Customs live. He was talking about it there. Obviously, it was the number one topic, the only topic, I think. And a lot of people were talking about the fact that it was a 2-pack. Like, that's really like, feels like it comes out of nowhere. And I think both figures are awesome. I like this one because this.
I was gonna say that's the part to jump in real quick. That's the part when I was like devastated and just like emotionally. I was like, not in a bad way in any sense, but when Jeremy was more or less going, if you look at the bio, look at the story, it ends, but it doesn't. It goes ... So there's more, and I'm just sitting there going. I'm like sitting there, like, I think I'm like cross-armed, and I'm just like, oh man, like, and they go, but there's more, and they go into the next part of it, which is cosmic, and that's when I was like, I was done. I was like, I can't think, and then you see
such a heartfelt reaction, dude. It's so good. Like I said,
I still get
trying to hold back tears.
Yeah, I had even now I just got a couple text messages, and they're watching the show live, and people saying I just watched that for the first time and congratulations. And that was like, they were like, they've spoken and hung out with me, and they were just like, they could feel it for me. And that was when I saw Trevor's photo, and I've told Trevor this already, I'm like, I'm getting that printed. I'm gonna have it on my wall in the living room and hang it up framed. And he goes, dude, I got you. I'm gonna send you one. Don't worry about it. And I go, dude, I'm like, let me know. Yeah. And that was when I was just, that's when I knew I was like just done. I was like, this is like, I'm a loss for words. I don't know what to say. Like, I was ready to like just start tearing up and crying. But the cosmic one, when they showed the Trevor photo with the cosmic, and he's this intergalactic gardener, and he still can't be kept down, and this and that. And they told, I don't even remember the whole story, because I was just like, dude, I was blanked out. I was like I have a better time remembering stuff when I'm drunk as hell, hanging out with friends, than any of that stuff. Yeah, when they showed that story, and he was reading the bio on that, that's when I was like, I was done. I was like, that's amazing. And I told Trevor, I'm like, I need to get a little plastic flower to do that same thing. So
yeah, because they don't come with the figure.
No plastic.
Yeah. So good, dude. So freaking good.
it makes me happy too is a lot of the excitement people have just for that character alone. The colors, that the same thing. I have no input on this stuff other than they did it. They love the colors. They made it for me. They named it after me for all the stuff that I've helped and done and this and that. But I love the idea that so many people in the group and across Instagram were saying, I love the character and the style just for that colors.
Yeah.
And it turns out, and I've told the guys this, I go, I have a lot of orange and a burnt orange color scheme throughout my house. I mean, Eric's been to my house. I've got this sofa that fills up my entire living room that's like a burnt orange color. And we love that color scheme. And to get that, so many people were excited just for that color and look, that it has like this quote unquote like humanoid feel to it. And it's, you know, the skeleton and the great, just, it pops so well. And some of the colors and the images that are already out there a little bit.
Yeah. The only thing I didn't care for if there's any complaints to make is that they didn't give you like a rake or a shovel to go with your
Yeah, not even a lawnmower.
Yeah, something, a leaf blower, something. They could have made something for you, but that, you know,
like need like a little pair of hand pruners or something.
Yeah, something. Yeah, a pair of shears. Something. Yeah.
You gotta leave something for the third party guys.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll hit up. We're gonna hit up Wolf King Customs and land in those dudes and be like, okay, first I need like a projection flower.
Yeah.
Like some that comes up on screen. It's like a leaf or something, and then we need a miniature pair of like hand pruners.
Yeah. Hey, my Waltorr tribute fig that I did for Legions Con 2022, it had a shovel. Damn it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, need tacos and beer. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Now I have a reason to paint up my tacos that I bought from freaking Planetary Dog Toys so many years ago.
Oh man, you know that same day, Seba Dom from Planetary, he instantly within like 30 minutes put up, hey, don't forget, we already got Waltorr tributes and accessories. We got tacos, we got a beer, and like I had like 20 people hit me up and say, what was that site that they did those head sculpts for you? And the tacos, I go, well, Seba Dom has those already, man. Like go hit up Planetary Dogs, you know?
Yep.
I don't get any kickbacks from that. So just go do it anyways. I love Seba and his work. So just go get it from him.
Hell yeah.
Awesome, I mean, the amount of thought that went into this too, like, and I think, you know, the mythic version of your tribute is cool to me because it just makes so much sense. There's so much about it that seems like at the heart of Waltorr, you know, Waltorr the Mad, you know what I mean? Like it's got the malleus elements, you know, for most of our time here, it's been mythic. Cosmic is sort of the new thing now. He's got the gourd, and again, the picture of him that Trevor did in front of the crowd is sort of like symbolic of, you know, you leading the cabal, right?
Yeah.
So there's so much about that makes sense, but like, and that's why I love that one, and it's super cool. And here's that shot again, like
it has the
incredible
banners.
Shot.
Yeah,
and
not
got
for
all the
nothing.
banners up there.
Not for nothing, but I mean, I know I probably speak for the entire community, but I mean, I take the tribute as a win for all of us because, you know, what other toy group has their logo represented in a toy line on a line, you know what I mean? On an actual toy figure. I mean, like that's like a freaking huge win for all of us in the cabal. You know what I mean? Like as a whole group, like hell yeah, we have our figure now. You know what I mean? What other toy group out there has their a major toy manufacturing put their logo right there on display, you know, in their toy line? It's like, dude, that's so freaking rad.
Yeah, and to have someone and to that type of note, even recently when I've had Dave do the shirts and stuff for us, and the studio just loves the hell out of it because of the print quality and everything. Not to take away at all from Len. Len has always made great stickers and pins.
Love Len's work.
Love it.
Yep.
Len has been awesome for many years doing that stuff, and just recently just doing a few of these projects real quick because it was that with Dave and having him print out the shirts. But to have that kind of like people like come to the shows and they call me and hit me up. We don't make a ton of the shirts at every show because like it's always been one of those things that Len and I have done, and like it's been like a part of the giveaway to bring people in, waiting in line to give back to them, bring people over to Wolf King Customs and show them the product and everything. So it has that crossover. It's like, hey, if you're waiting in line for Mythic Legions, come over, check out here over Wolf King Customs at like the ZoloCon event. And it's become now where the studio, all the guys at the studio want a shirt. They always want a shirt. Give me a shirt, give me a shirt, give me a shirt. And it's just like, okay, you guys, no problem. And they collect the shirts. Like people genuinely collect the shirts. I mean, Ryan's been at those shows, and
Nice.
he's been there, and he knows. Like you see those people walk up, and you can see like even Ryan's like real humble about it. He's just like, that's cool, man. Like I'm like, well, what kind of shirt? What size shirt do you wear? He's and just okay, oh, thanks, man. And then give him a shirt, give his wife one, give somebody else it, give it back to the community, and give it back to everybody. And they just appreciate it. And so many people like collect those shirts now and wear them like all the time. Like how many YouTube shows I've seen recently and online places. And Thomas just the other day texted me. He was in Arizona show wearing our Sacramento shirt.
Nice.
And
What's up,
just,
Greg?
yeah,
Right.
he just thought that was the coolest thing ever. And I love that the studio loves the shirts and the symbol, having Nate Barch do the art and having that to where it's not like an outside person, it's in studio, it's an in studio design. The studio is appreciative of it. They wear it. All the warehouse guys wear the shirts. They'll unload trucks and they know that like, hey, it's a free shirt that I got from Waltorr, and they'll use it, and they're not afraid to get it dirty, but at the same time, they wear them like, they literally wear and coordinate it throughout the week. They're going, okay, Monday we're going to wear the gray shirt. Tuesday we're wearing this. For Wednesday we're wearing the one that Dave did from Toylanta. Like it blows me away now. Like they're wearing it and represent it all the time. And then when one of the last shows I talked to was like Jim, and he's going, how cool it is for me to see and look out and watch these people come up to the booth and go up to where we're selling figures and having fun and interacting with people. And you see people wearing the Cabal shirts. You don't know what it is. You don't know what it's about, other than they're coming up to and they're wearing something that he recognizes, and he's wearing the shirt, and he knows exactly what they're there for and where they're from. And you get a line of people, sometimes 10 people, sometimes it's like a 4-hour long line. And you look into the line, and there's people wearing like a bright orange one, a green one from Len. You can see the Toylanta one that Dave did. You can see now these other colors, and you can, like Jim goes, that those people are coming to these events and they're wearing them, or and then same thing, even the next day, they're coming back on Sunday. People have that shirt that I just gave them.
Yes,
And they put it on. It's like, hey, that's my clean shirt. That's my new shirt. Check this out. I got a Cabal shirt. And I'm just
Hell
like,
yeah.
I'm just like, damn, bro. That like,
Yeah, I remember when we went to when you guys did this design, the Slayer design for the Cabal logo. And I remember I ordered my shirt from you guys, and you guys sent out the shirts, and it was like the first big order of shirts you guys had done, and the pre-order and stuff. So we all paid for them and stuff. And I remember you guys talking about, hey, we're going to be at, Designer Con with the studio. So if you guys can, wear your Cabal shirts, and that way we could recognize you and this and that. And I was so stoked, man, because it was the first time I had ever been involved with a community like this, where I was actually meeting people on a person-to-person basis. And I remember showing up to Designer Con, and I walked in and walked towards the table, the 4H table, and I had my Cabal shirt on, and I looked around, and there was like 5 other dudes with Cabal shirts on, and it was so cool, because it was like we automatically recognized like who was there for that purpose, and it was like, we just started shaking hands and meeting people and started talking it up, and then that was, like I said, that was mine and your first interaction, and we got together, and like I said, it just sparked our friendship. That's, like I said, just gone leaps and bounds from there. But it all started with, like I said, with this shirt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
rocking your Cabal shirt and going out there. And like I said, and you just spot people and go, hey, you know, you recognize the symbol, you recognize who the people are. And it's just like I said, and you obviously realize that you're within good company. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
People instantly see that and they're just like, oh man, like, what's your name? And it's like, oh, hey, Eric LeBron, who are you?
Yeah.
It's, oh, Walter Hagen, man. I'm in the Cabal too. Oh, dude, I know who you are. Thanks.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. That's how it was. That is so cool, man.
Yeah, and that's always been the goal, is to do something like that, to where it gives back. It gives that like brotherhood. It gives that, you know, that camaraderie, everything else like that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you also have it's cool to have all the different colors as well, because like you said, you could totally recognize like, oh, that guy was from Toylanta, or like our purple ones that you guys did for us for the
California
West Coast one. It's like, you know, if you're rocking the purple one, you can't, you know, it's
can't
like
get it anywhere else. You had to be there.
You had to be there. You know what I mean?
And I've never remade them. I've never made the same color twice. Like Lan and Dave now, we're like, and it's always been for that event and for the idea of that event, to where it's for that city, it's for that particular area. You know, when we did the purple and black ones, like Dave and I were like, we thought that out for like a day, conversating about it, and it was just like, okay, these are like Kings colors, like Sacramento. This, like, when you think of Sacramento Kings, it's that royal purple with a black, and Dave's like, dude, that's gonna look, you know, all the years that Dave's been doing the shirts, that's gonna look awesome. We'll do this. It's gonna look like that.
And then Toy-Atlanta, we were like, oh well, we got red. We'll do the red with the gold.
Yep.
And that came out beautiful.
Yeah, we went on that, and same thing. Dave goes, here's the colors. I go, man, that's cool. I said, you know, the city of Atlanta has the Hawks and this, and they had several like related colors. And I go, here's the color palette. Dave instantly goes, let's do this red. I've got this gold foil color. It's gonna look crazy. Trust me, I got it. And I'm like, I'm like, do it. It's gonna be awesome. Same thing when we've done PowerCon shirts in the past, and the other Zolo cons, Len has picked out amazing colors. We did one year, it was meant to be like a Scare Glow colors, and it was like PowerCon tribute, and it was like that neon green and then like a purple on it. And I thought for sure, like, honestly, God, we thought for sure, like, there's no friggin' way that people are gonna like this. It's gonna be one of those like goofy things. I'm gonna give out these shirts. We made like 100 of them, and I'm sitting there going, this is a crazy color. I think it's gonna be cool. The cool thing is gonna be fun is that people are gonna buy it. I mean, you know, get it, and you can see them from a mile away, and that's gonna be perfect. Within, I think, walking in that line, and there was like a 2-hour long line to get into PowerCon. I show up, they're like, here's your shirts. I grab like a ton of them, throw them on my shoulders like I do. I go walking through. I gave out all those shirts, and Len picked like the best colors for that and made those things so nice. I gave out all those shirts, I swear to God, like 10 minutes. And I look like some crazy football guy with like a pile of shirts on me, and I have them separated in sizes. Families were taking those, and they all know who I was, what the Cabal was, Mythic Legions. They're here for Mythic Legions. And that whole line came through, got right into the Mythic Legions line for the PowerCon exclusives and everything that weekend. And those people were coming by. Everybody grabbed a shirt, and like, I thought I was going to have extras for like Sunday. They were gone in like 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And people would put them on. Kids loved them. The small sizes that we had, I had a few really big sizes. But everybody loved him. There was a guy that was like the perfect billboard there, man. This one guy, I have a photo of me standing next to this guy, was like 6'10", 7 foot tall. And he just thought that shirt was the coolest thing. And I barely had a shirt his size because he was like a 3XL shirt. And here he is. He's huge. Like, that's the biggest human being I've met in a long time. And he just thought that was the greatest thing, that I had a shirt that would fit him. And he's a fan. He knew what the Cabal was and everything. He put that shirt on. He walking around the whole show with it. Like, and he's like taller than Greg, like this 7 foot tall billboard wearing this neon green shirt that says the Cabal on it. And he's just walking by, and you're just like, yeah, dude, that's awesome right there. So
Hell yeah. And the thing that, like I said, I think so many people appreciate it more than anything that they've experienced is that you don't ask for anything for it. You know what I
no,
mean? You're not looking for any kind of compensation or you're not trying to sell anything.
nope.
You're just promoting the community. You know what I mean? And that's like I said, people don't
Yeah,
have that experience. They've never experienced that from any toy community, any toy manufacturer, anything in the toy industry. And
Yeah.
now you come out here and you're, like I said, you do this thing, and it's just a wonderful representation of like what this community and what you're trying to drive here. And it's like I said, and people they just feed into it, man. It's just they're just blown away by it.
Yeah, I've done it with Dave on many occasions now that he's helped out, and I told him, I said, how much for these shirts? And he's like, oh, and Dave's been great. Same thing like with Len. He does the orders and he does the work, everything. I go, how much are they? It's X amount of dollars. Okay, give me a day or so. I'll send you money, and that's it. I've never collected any money from anything that I've given away or sold.
Right.
Even the shirt that you're wearing, I those were all pre-order shirts. The cost of that shirt was what it cost to make it and ship it, and I made no money off of those. I've never in going on almost 7 years of doing this, I've made absolutely no money doing any of the stuff I've done.
Yeah.
And I say that almost with pride because that's not what I wanted. I've always wanted to like give back to the community and give to people that they spend the time, they want to come hang out and meet me and be in line, and they want to be part of it, and they want to, just see Mythic Legions and the Horsemen have me out. It's my way of like thanking everybody. And it's not cheap to do any of the stuff I did for all these years. And it was my vacation. It was my thing that I wanted to give back. And I'm not made of money by any chance, but it's just, I just thought that was the coolest thing to just have this stuff, make the stickers, all this other thing, and give it back. And Len and Dave, being here, it's just been like a godsend that they have no problem doing it with me.
Outside of your work on the T-shirt designs and your involvement in that, Dave, do you do any other type of print stuff? Do you do like business cards or like stickers, or are you just strictly the T-shirt?
I'm just strictly apparel.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I can point you into places, whatever you need.
Right. I didn't know. I know. Like I said, I knew your background with the T-shirt work, but I didn't know if you also did I didn't know where like the Cabal stickers came from. I thought that.
Yeah, they're from Len.
Len did those.
Len did the stickers and the patches, and I did the masks. Remember the masks? Well,
yeah.
We did 2 runs of them.
Yeah, same thing. Gave those away. Like
very cool.
Dave found the masks, and I was like, dude, I was like, here, hang on, I'll send you money.
Let's try it.
Maybe, and see if they sell. I think we sold like 1, and the rest of them I was like, you know what? If people want them, I'm just giving them to people,
Yeah.
Like, and then,
there's a sign of the times right there. the old mask.
And Dave's been great. Like
I think I still have a couple in my drawer. I remember Walter sent them or gave them to me, and I said I'm just gonna keep these as keepsakes. I'm not gonna wear them. I'm just gonna.
I got one hanging up in the Thunderdome back there. And just hanging there. It's one of those things that like, and then I know Dave made it, and it was super cool.
Like I said, sign of the times, man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Got to get Cabal bandanas. That's what I need next.
Yeah,
man,
good idea.
I've looked into it. There's a bunch of stuff. It's like anything. And Dave's,
the backpack thing was pretty cool. I like that. Yeah,
that's awesome.
So Chris, oh my God, I just draw a blank. But they showed me a site that like was on Vans, and I talked to another guy. Went through a couple people that was doing import stuff, and he found me like a third party guy in China, a supplier, and I actually got a lot of samples at one point, but they were like super like low, like I don't want to say like budget, but they were like they were on the cheaper side, knockoff stuff from China, and like the cost of making like backpacks in China, if I ordered them in like bulk, it would have been like nothing, and I could have easily made that as like a giveaway. And the backpack thing originally was kind of an idea where wanted it for people to walk around the show, have a backpack and throw their figures in there. Like Ryan comes walking by the table, he's got our backpack on, and he buys 2 or 3 figures, and he can put it in the backpack, and off he goes. But he's wearing like the Cabal backpack. So, but the cost on that one, those things were like almost $200 each.
Oh wow!
And I was like, that was like making it, the design, and then shipping. It would have been like $200 each. So I bought myself one, and I had a second one made at the same time, so I could give it to Nate Barch as a thank you. Because I always, every time I see him, I give him some kind of apparel and as like a thank you, and he's always blown away and super grateful for it. But that kind of stuff, Dave and I have tried to figure out more things to do. He sent me multiple ideas. We're working on a few ideas and potential things. I don't want to go past that, but
it's awesome. What you guys have done so far has just been, just like I said, just fantastic, man. Just fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And now the figure gets its own shirt.
Yeah,
exactly, dude.
That's awesome.
I already messaged.
How fitting is that the figure comes with a Cabal shirt, dude?
I was trying to figure where we could get tiny shirts at too before.
I already talked to C. Jessom about that, and I'm talking to him about that. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Things to come.
Yeah.
So,
you heard it here first.
Steph's got a question. I don't know if we have any answers on this yet.
Do
we know anything about the box art yet?
They haven't released that.
They've shown. Sorry, go ahead, Ryan.
No, I was going to probably say the exact same thing. They did show the
front.
packaging on the live stream.
Yeah, they just didn't show the back. They just showed the front end of it.
Yeah. So far, they, like Ryan said, they've shown the front. They just got it in that same day, held it up. They talked about it later in that same episode. Chris was, dude, like I'm having a brain fart. But they were showing it live on the episode. They barely showed the side. And one of the things that kind of like, I wish they had shown it live, but I'm kind of glad that they didn't when I was on, because I probably would have started crying again, because they take the box, they hold it like this. You can see the name on the bottom. And I thought that was amazing how the layout of the box is. But then they turned it on the side, and one of my favorite things, and I got a message from the artist, both from Nate and Tom, that they used the art that we had kind of collaborated with, and they put they put the Cabal symbol of the futuristic Cabal one of the cosmic on one side next to the spaceman looking Waltorr. Nice. And then on the other side they have the demon on the other side. Nice. And that they barely show it really quick, but I was like, and I've already called and told Jeremy, I was like, dude, send me that box art. I want to see what that looks like. Or I'm gonna call Nate and I'm gonna get it from him that way. So awesome. But it's amazing, and then on the bottom of it, they have the Legions Con and date and everything like that. So
dude, you better have a healthy supply of Sharpies ready.
You're gonna be signing a lot of boxes
ready at Legions Con, dude. You're gonna be your freaking wrists are gonna hurt. You're gonna be signing so much.
That was part of the fun of getting all the text messages from everybody, and even people that I talk to all the time. Is like someone like Dave is just like, man, I can't wait to get that. You're gonna sign mine, right? And I'm like, dude, yeah, I'll sign anything. I mean, dude, the first time I ever signed anything, I was blown away, and I'm just like, man, I'm just me. They're like, no, you gotta sign my box, and
so, hell yeah, that's gonna be awesome, dude. That's gonna be awesome.
I wanted to talk too, get your guys' thoughts on, the whole idea of it being a 2-pack, and bring back a couple of comments Trevor made earlier. And we were talking about the 2 photos Trevor did of, the mythic Waltorr, like leading the Cabal, and then the cosmic Waltorr with the flower. And Trevor talked about how he thought these 2 shots showed the 2 sides of Waltorr, both the Cabal madman and the green thumb nature dude. So we've talked a little bit about that, but how cool, with the mythic, the mythic one, it just makes so much sense right away. You get it. Like that's like the heart, and then the cosmic one, all it took for me was to see Trevor's photo
Yeah.
of this one that we looked at before. All it took for me was seeing this photo, and I
That one.
immediately got it. And I'm like, that's freaking genius.
I've texted. I mean, like I said earlier, I've texted Trevor like a dozen times and rambled on and messaged private with him. I'm like, dude, this is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
Like, I know exactly what that is, and I was so happy to get that.
Someone made a comment about the photo, almost like to kind of like to quote on it. It's like someone said something about you finding the beauty in life in a desert, and it was just like, dude, that's so Waltorr. Like he could find he's the one who found us as a community and spawned the life of this, in a desert of nothingness or all this negativity and stuff. And it was like, because of Waltorr, like he's the guy who found that, you know what I mean? And that, like I said, that picture speaks volumes to that. You know what I mean? It's just so good, man.
Thank you.
So,
that was me. That was me.
Yeah.
I looked at it.
Really?
It's like finding the beauty in a desert, and I'm like,
yeah.
That, it fits with Waltorr's, his profession and like what he does here. Like it was magical and it clicked automatically, and I was like, oh my god,
Yeah,
so good, bro.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I like I said, I told Trevor many times already that was like the coolest
Alien
thing ever.
turkey lady.
Michael Casper, of course, joins in. Waltorr's tribute figures are beautiful. I hear Faustia and Alien Turkey Lady are so jealous because they suck. So well deserved, madman.
That's
man. Right.
Thank you so much.
That's right.
Yeah, Mike was one of the first to text me instantly and telling me how cool that was and everything and man, it was just so cool. And like I said, I can't say it enough. Thank you, Trevor, because that all that little detail in there. And I've told him like, dude, I can't wait to get that as a print. I need this. I need you to sign it. He's like, you could see him like reading it. And I go just like Waltorr, I'm gonna send you one. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just can't help it, man. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna hang it on my wall like right here. And
Hell yeah. Like Curtis says, can't wait for the 2024 calendar, man.
Yeah.
100%.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I know.
We use ours.
Hell yeah. I got mine right here at my desk. Hell yeah. I'm all about calendars.
Mine is the official kitchen calendar in my household on the fridge.
Hell yeah.
I got mine on over my desk with all my. I don't even use my desk, but it's right next to my bed and everything. It's just with all my figures and customs there, and then right above it is first thing I see is like Trevor's calendar marked off and that good stuff. That thing's awesome, man.
Hey, and just a quick reminder to Michael Casper, just to let you know, Dennis Derby has a Faustia for sale, so go for it, bro.
Oh boy.
Yeah, hit him up.
Hit him up.
So, how about Ryan? Did you have any other thoughts on this set? What were your first thoughts when you saw it? Is there anything in particular that we haven't talked about yet that you're like excited about? Wow, I'm so excited that it comes with that.
The T-shirt, I didn't even realize. I was so focused on how great the figures look. I overlooked the T-shirt, and you circled it. You were like, "Damn, dude, it even comes with the shirt." But
Yeah,
dude, you deserve it. You are one hell of a guy, man.
Thank you.
And I can't say enough great things about you, but the figures are beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm a loss for words, just like you, man. It's like so same thing. I didn't have the original. I didn't remember to save that photo of Trevor's. That he did two versions of that same photo of the kind of like the cheer photo or whatever. I don't even know what Trevor would call that. But he has a version of it where you could see the complete figure standing there holding the banner. But then there's another version of that shot that's on the site that it's him wearing the shirt.
Yeah.
And to me, when I saw that same thing, I saw that one. I was like, oh my God, dude, that is nuts. Like there's that other. And I just remembered to text Trevor and Jeremy. I go, I didn't save that. Like, I need to save that so I can repost that image too. Like, I gotta get that. And they sent it to me, and I have that one saved on my 5,500 photos of Mythic Legions and fans and everything.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
love the addition of the gourd with the Cabal logo on it too, because I mean I know you have, and I've seen that in person at your house. The actual gourd that you had, that what was it, Len that did that for you, right?
No,
Anthony
Halcyon.
Anthony Halcyon did that.
He went. So
like,
his
that's so
his,
cool, man.
His dad makes birdhouse gourds, and then he has like this crazy like electric like burning device thing that goes through and like burns into the gourd like almost like a tattoo, and he can draw on it. And then his dad's retired and sells those at like craft fairs and stuff. And I remember when he did that years ago, I go, dude, I'm like, you gotta make me one. He's like, don't worry, I plan to. And as like a thank you type of thing, like so many people have done, he made one for me and sent it to me. And I had it sitting on my my little like side end table next to my couch for years before I finally was like, I moved it back to my desk when I rearranged my desk. So now it's next to like my prototype Malleus. There's the gourd, and above it's like Trevor's calendar, and then I've got like a couple other customs. My desk is ridiculous. It's like I don't use it other than just to like put more stuff on.
Yeah, but that's like I said, that's a cool nod to something that's specifically specific to you. You know what I mean? To actually have the character come with that's got the gourd and the Cabal symbol. It's so cool.
Yeah, he hand does all that stuff. He puts down like a almost like a stencil, draws it all out, and then he hand burns it all in, and then he'll dye it and everything. So there's that. Even if he was to remake another one, it wouldn't be the same. So,
yeah, that's incredible. So they're like all like individual.
What beer is in the gourd?
Yeah.
Coors Light, man, come on,
right.
If you're gonna drink, drink a lot. No.
Hell yeah. Oh, that's cool, man.
So
yeah,
Dave,
that's an extra fun one. Go ahead, Ryan.
I was gonna say, Dave, what about you? What about thoughts about just any other specific thoughts about the 2-pack itself?
See, this is weird because last year when Furious 4 was announced, I told Jeremy, I was like, where's the Waltorr figure? He's like, it's coming. I just don't have the parts yet. I bothered him, I think, twice this year. He's like, I don't have the parts yet. It's coming. So when they were saying something special was going on Wednesday, I was like, I wonder if it's day 2 figure. I wonder if it's a cosmic figure or a 2-pack, or if it's maybe Walt's figure. And then they did Walt's figure. And they made a 2-pack, cosmic.
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool. I love this figure.
I think Dave was probably one of the first people to start guessing at it, and then he would ask in our conversations that when he's on his drive home, he's like, "What do you think they're gonna make, man?" He goes, "If they don't make a figure for you this year, I don't know what I'm gonna do." And I'm just like, "Dude, I have no control of that."
Yeah,
like I don't know what to say. Yeah,
it was time.
Yeah.
I like that they did the shirt. I like that they put the 2 different Cabal logos, one on the shield, one on the flag.
Yeah,
I think it's a great idea.
And the gourd.
Yeah, and the gourd.
Yeah.
And then they added. I don't know what you guys thought about the. I love the new design that Tom did. That's on the if there's a better photo of it, of the cosmic Cabal design. I love that design that's on the shield of the cosmic Cabal.
Yeah.
And I thought I was blown away that they added that as an extra like acknowledgement. It wasn't just here's whatever, but it's also here's a little extra that they filled in the space there. They added the art by Tom Whalen and stuff like that. And
I'm hoping this year we might be able to see the Cosmic Cabal logo on a shirt at Legion's Con this year. Hopefully.
I can't say when, but
Mhm.
it is a very good possibility.
Because that's
Oh,
gonna
hell yeah.
that's gonna be something I know a lot of us are gonna want, Walt. You know that for sure,
yeah,
brother.
it's
Because now we're all geeked out on Cosmic, so it's like,
Mhm.
man, you gotta bring it, dude.
yeah, there's somebody that's helped out with that very much, so that it is
Awesome.
very appreciated.
Hell
He
yeah.
might be in this chat somewhere too. So
Awesome.
Not
Coors
saying
Light, I
nothing.
said beer.
That's right.
yeah,
You know, it's funny they did the astronaut skull like they did with Scooby Doo. Remember that back in the
Yeah.
day?
Yeah.
I was going to make one of these, and they already did it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I wanted to do this same thing. I've got plenty extra skulls, and I was like, dude, they need like I want to pop out like the skeleton, put skeleton hands, and then have like the skull spacesuit type of thing. So Coors Light, yeah. Hey man, that's my water of choice.
Exactly.
Yeah, they did a great job on these. I'm very
Hell
happy.
yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Very happy.
And I like we get the last
I got
Cronin skull in an actual
Yeah.
skull color.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely
Like that
a
edition.
cool added feature.
I'm
What
actually.
do you think? What do you think, Walter? You're getting. I mean, even to start off, what do you think? You're getting 2 full cases of these things?
Yeah, I called him out on it. I was like, I told Jeremy, I was like, dude, I don't care. Like, I'll have
Right.
people wait. I'll have people wait
Yeah.
in line for me, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be like, okay, Jonathan, Dave will do it. I got Ryan. I'm like,
Mhm.
there's like extra figures right there, But
Yeah.
no, I told him I was like, I'm gonna need like what is there probably like I think 10 or 12 per case. I'm gonna need. I need at least one case that I'm gonna probably get sealed and just keep it for my own, and get buried with it type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'm gonna need like, it's like I'm gonna need probably like another 10 or 12 of them just to open and add to the army of Malleus. And I need like all those. I'm gonna make the just like as the banner guys, like here's the army coming along. There's Waltorr in it, and there's Malleus,
Yeah.
and we're gonna just go like storm the continent and kill
Yeah,
everybody.
I could only imagine. I could only imagine these figures are gonna freaking dwarf your Malleus collection.
Mhm.
When they do the reissue, I think that's when I'll go heavy on it. But
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
special edition ones, by no means I'm not looking to like take away from anybody. I'm looking to just get like a bunch of them for myself, save them as like, I want to like. It's gonna be cool, like to give one to my mom and let my son play with it because my son has the same name as me.
Yeah.
Show other family members and maybe give them to friends that are real close and family, as like a thank you for everything and that kind of stuff. I mean for like what the potential cost on these things are, like if it's anything like it was last year. I mean, they're not cheap, honestly. So I don't have like a ton of money. So it'd be one of those things like, okay, if I get like a case of them, that's X amount of dollars, and to stash them away, that's a pretty big investment just for myself alone. So
Yeah, but like you said, waiting on the standard release is definitely to arm it for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Lot
he
more
said, Jeremy said that he hasn't announced a price, but I can't see them being any more than they were last year.
Right.
Probably $100 for the for the 2-pack and $50 for the
Correct.
the day one figure. I
Yeah.
can't imagine it would.
Honestly, even if it was 120, it's still worth it.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see it going that high.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know yet. He hasn't told me. He hasn't announced it. I mean, Chris kind of speculated on the YouTube show, and I mean, if it was 100, maybe 120. I think if they did like $100 for that, considering you're getting into the show, you're all spending on
Right.
like, that's for a dude for $100 you get 2 figures and like
Yep.
they're like I can't even tell me how many accessories are in that thing,
Yeah.
let alone the silly fun idea of it. I mean, in my opinion, it's just like that's craziness. You know, that's going to be awesome for all that little extras, exclusive. There's a lot of original parts. There's a lot of things that they aren't going to do on the next edition. You know, so it's that extra little bits on there.
And hopefully this year the shirts will actually come in the package and they won't be scattered all over the showroom floor. So dude, hopefully they get that part right. You know what I mean?
You know, I say this, it'd be hilarious, and I hope it doesn't happen. But if it came in and it didn't have that, and then suddenly they had to like get like a big box of them off to the side, kind of like that, you could only you know that there would be like a line of people just to grab like a handful of those little miniature shirts.
Oh yeah, dude. You know how many figures would be dressed in those shirts, dude?
Yeah, I mean, I alone would reach in that box and just like stuff my pocket full of like miniature like Cabal shirts. So
yeah, hell yeah.
That's like why I said I'm already trying to talk to C. Justin about it and be like, dude, like I need to talk to you about like something we could maybe add on to this afterwards, you know.
Yeah,
I picture Waltorr being whoever's running that and handing the t-shirts out of the box, being like, yo, did you see that badass custom? They turn around and he's just running away with arms full of that
box full of shirts. Yeah. Oh my god.
Just walking by with like a case of them first thing in the morning. It'll be like 6 in the morning. I'll be like walking by, I'll be like, hey, good morning everybody, and like I'm going to my room, you know.
So the fact that it's a 2-pack in the first place and it comes in the special Legions Con box, the shirt is also exclusive to the Legions Con version. Correct. What else actually is? I don't remember. What else is exclusive?
The Cronin head, the painted Cronin head, is exclusive to the show.
Because that was actually they admitted that was a mistake that they did at first, that they painted it as they brought the parts in to the painter. I know who painted it, and they brought it in, they set it down, he went through and painted it. He painted it as a skull because he thought it looked cool as hell and it fit inside there. It matched the Malia style head in the Alien, and so he matched it to that. When they came in to like approve it and look at it, and they go, oh, why is this in here? And the painter said, well, it looks cool and that's what you brought me. And they go, okay. They kind of went, oh, okay, well, we'll just include it anyways, because like we've been, you know, and it matched the mythic version and matched the cosmic style, and it was the second time they've the third time they've ever used this head. And it's ironic because there's the skull head in Trevor's photos for the very first promotion stuff that I think I still have it on the banner for the Cosmic Cabal, but that's the style cosmic alien skull that was used to promote Cosmic Legions,
right?
Which I think is badass, because they never made that. They didn't make it. They didn't produce it. They didn't do anything. And now it comes in like my figure as the exclusive. So it's like,
so cool, man.
I'm like, dude, that alone is like, that's exciting for me to see that. Like that's blows my mind.
Yeah, that kicks major ass, dude, to get that part along with it. And like I said, for all of us that are going to make the journey out to New Jersey again this year for Legions Con, and for everybody that's going to make it to the show, I mean, you're going to get that added bonus. And that's like I said, to me, it's a prized possession to have something that's a little bit that much more special. You know what I mean? Especially to us, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of it's just a crazy thing to have dropped, you know, especially with all the speculation that's been around over the last couple of months. You know, we got the Vorgus update for Saturday. What's going to happen for Sunday? Are we finally going to get like a cosmic one? The answer is yes. And I'm sure there was plenty of people probably that guessed that it would be cosmic related. You know, there were some people, you know, for a long time, people that said that Waltorr needed a tribute figure. So even that's not a huge surprise. But the way they did it, I think that 2-pack and combining mythic and cosmic really was a surprise to me, and I think they knocked it out of the park.
Absolutely,
For sure.
100%, man, 100%. Couldn't have, like I said, couldn't have been done any better, and for a better guy, man. It's just like I said, so happy to, like I said, be a part of it and know that we're all going to be together at Legion's Con when it's presented and it's out there, and like I said, watching the crowd's reaction to it and everybody in the community that are going to be so overjoyed for Waltorr in so many ways, and for all that he's done for the community. It's just, like I said, it's just great, man.
Yeah.
I think this year for Legion's Con, it's going to be even crazier.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be bigger again.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
We really won't
Insane.
even have to leave the place. I mean, there's a restaurant inside, right?
Yeah. An Irish pub.
So we won't even have to leave at all.
Oh, dude, you think last year was wild? It's gonna freaking go.
And
I can't wait. Plus, they got that outdoor
patio,
section with the fire pit patio.
As
Dude,
long as it's not cold,
gonna
we'll
be
be
on,
fine.
dude.
I mean, it was
no
warm
matter.
last year.
Yeah,
It was like 70 degrees last year.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Could the weather have not been any more perfect that weekend?
Mhm.
I couldn't
What-
believe it. I was ready to
was-
freeze my balls off in New Jersey, and I got there. I was like, dude, it's like warm as hell out here.
I was
like,
expecting it to be cold.
yeah,
I was
I mean,
hoping
it
it
was
would be
cold. It
cold.
was cold in 2021. I remember that morning when we showed up, and it
Yeah.
was fucking freezing, bro. I was like, dude, I'm a California guy. I'm not used to this shit. Like,
I'm not a fan of the heat, so the cold is
Yeah.
nice.
Well,
Yeah.
dude, Walter's a California guy, and
Yeah.
at ZoloCon, he's outside in shorts and a t-shirt in fucking 20-degree weather.
Doesn't
We
matter.
picked up Walt
Sitting there, holy shit.
we picked up Walt for intern for April 22, and he's waiting outside in shorts and a hoodie and flip flops.
Yeah,
It's freezing
I don't know how.
outside.
Yeah, like Reynolds says, and that was funny too because I know that affected a lot of people. But I
And
mean, I
both
didn't really
elevators.
notice it was both
The
elevators,
Elevators, hopefully they work.
elevators and the AC. Yeah,
Mhm.
hopefully they check on that shit. Well, this year I made sure to get my room at a lower level floor because at the last one I was at like the 9th floor, so that took about 3.5 hours to get upstairs. And
Yeah.
with that fucking
Yeah, I think
stupid
we had
elevator.
the 3rd floor, and our air conditioner worked great.
It's funny.
Yeah, I wasn't too far up, and hell, I knew better. Like, get in and out of there. Try not to go upstairs. But I mean, I think that first night I was so hungover and drunk anyway, so it was just like I had to go up to the restroom. I had to go use the restroom and sit in the shower, wake back up for like 30 minutes before I went back down again. It was so much fun.
Oh yeah.
So, quick question, Walt. So, when you go
Yeah.
to the Cabal now, it reads as 5,000 members. Is it
Yeah.
still rounding up, or where are we at with that?
So Facebook and all that stuff, all the social media platforms, they do that. They admit to it and everything is what they do that for groups and followers. So that way it looks bigger, it rounds up, and even and I forget exactly where they start doing that. Like if you're at like 500, you can go 501, 502, 506, whatever, you know. But once they get to a certain point, they automatically round up. So if you have like 4,903, it goes 4,900. Or if you go 4,980, they automatically go to 5,000. So honestly, like we were at, I think yesterday or early this morning, it was like 4,986 or something. Like it's like within the teens of how many people are off. And then when I was up this morning checking in and looking at stuff and answering emails and text messages and things like that, friend requests, it was like, I mean, it's within like a hand count off. Like there must have been like a dozen people that asked to join last night. And it's crazy because like when you look at the stats of people that try to join and send requests or off of it, it's like I decline as many as I accept because people try to just join the group without answering the questions or following the rules or their fake accounts. But we get up till a couple weeks ago, it was like 50 to 100 people a week that asked to join, and then half of those get declined only because they don't like follow the
questions.
the questions.
Yeah.
And Colin's been great, along with all the other admins like Elliot and Mike and Jeremy and Anthony and everybody. It's just been awesome that
Yeah.
they help out, that they watch for me, and that's what I've asked them to all do, is just, basically watch the door. So when people are coming in, this is my standards of what I want. This is, if they're not accepting the rules, they get declined, because my rules are simple. I don't have any rules, but just be polite and treat each other how you want to be treated. But
Yep.
Don't be an asshole.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you don't
really
want to be, if you want to be an asshole and this and that, like my admins watch for all that stuff and let me know, and I tell them, let me deal with it. I don't mind being the face of it and everything else. I don't want them to interact with people potentially and have those online arguments, because I have no problem diffusing situations, because all the years I've had, like with private and personal security and stuff, I know how to like politely talk to people and deal with that kind of stuff.
And I think the community as a whole has wholeheartedly just like protected our own in this in this community, and it's something that, like I said, a lot of people that join this community really like learn really fast. Like, wow, this is a really like a group that's like they look out for each other, and it's something that, like I said, is so positive that people aren't really like, they're like, whoa, they're like blown back by it. They're like completely blown away. But it's something that, like I said, we as a whole, not only just the administrators, but we as an entire community, we protect this group, wholeheartedly. And it's like, it's like I was looking at my phone, and it's one of those things I keep as just a kind of a personal like memento, but a screenshot of my, my membership that, when I joined the Cabal, August 18th, 2019. And that was the day of, PowerCon 2019, when I first was introduced to Mythic Legions. And a buddy of mine that was with me at the show said, "Hey, do you know who Waltorr Hagen is?" And I said, "No." Yeah. And they said, "Yeah, he has a Facebook group called the Cabal. Then it's basically just guys that collect Mythic Legions. And yeah, I'll send you an invite and join up." And I said, "Yeah, that's cool." So that's when and like I said, it's always like a special memento to me to know that, that's when I was a part of this. And that's, like I said, basically that's, I think, where a lot of our lives completely changed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So many people have told me that same story, where they have their Cabal anniversary or Cabal anniversary.
Yeah.
And there's people that post it and they go, "Oh man, today's my second year of being in the Cabal and this is great." There's people that have been there for a week or two or a month, and they're just like, "Dude, this is like the greatest group I've ever been part of." I mean, we have our problems and issues just like anything else. We've had things, and it's so nice to get to that point where, like I've tried to explain to everybody over the years, it's just like people will step in and say like, "Hey man, like just let's be a little bit nicer about that, or take that in private or whatever." And sometimes even that can get out of hand, and the back and forth. It's everybody's human. Everybody's, within their, opinions and everything else. But I do remind people, I go, it's also not a public forum. It's mine.
Right.
It's my rules. You're coming into my group, and I'm doing this for the Four Horsemen, and they have expectations also. But they tell me, and they love to death, is that like, when Eric Treadaway has told me that it's so cool to see that, and the interaction and the camaraderie, where people can go on there and they're not cursing at each other, they're not yelling at each other, they're not calling each other out, there's not big long dictations of like back and forth and this and that. And Eric has told me, he goes, it's so cool to pop in under, he's got a hidden account that he he reads stuff that he can be there, and it's all this positivity, and his kids can watch. And then same thing, CB will come in and comment and look, and CB admits, like, he's like, I don't even have to do nothing. I just can come in and look around, see what's going on, and he'll make his little comments and this and interact here and there. And Jeremy the same way. He goes, man, I'm amazed how people just just interact with each other here, blown away. It's like it's not like somewhere else or something else, or these quote unquote other such and such toy groups that I don't want to call out, but it's just like it is not the same. And you know, it's so cool to see that kind of thing where people know when they've joined the group, or when they do join the group, or when they have been part of the group, that they, like I said, they'll text me or they'll post on there and they're just like, I can't believe how like I was able to interact with like Ryan, and he sent me this for no reason other than I asked, or Eric told me how to paint this, and I didn't even have to really pay for it or something. And you know, Dave has sent me something because he had one laying around, and here you go. Yeah. And it's so nice to have that like pass it forward type of thing. And I'm not a religious guy. I admit it all the time. Like, you know, if I stepped outside, I'd burst into flames into a church, bro. But I do believe it's one of those kind of just, you know, good experiences that, you know, you should treat each other as you would want to be treated, and you know, do what you can. Like if someone needs help, you try to help them out. If they don't want it, if they tell you to go to hell, or if they don't send it back, hey, you know, you tried, but that happens. We're all human, man. So.
Absolutely.
So,
well said, man.
So Walt, before we get close to wrapping up here.
Oh man, I'm just starting. Let's go.
I
just need
I probably have to
beer.
hop off. Is there anything? Has there been anything decided? Is there anything you can tell us about when you hit 5,000? What's going to happen?
Cool stuff. I can just say that. Like I've got stuff in mind, and the studio has got stuff in mind. And when we do officially hit the 5,000, like I have that graphic that's out there, and I just kind of like ticket taker, chipping away at it, randomly post when I do. But you guys are gonna get blown away. There's some cool stuff that not only like I've got cool stuff to hand out to people, and I think obviously we're probably gonna do like the big Colin style. I love Colin and all my admins, but people know Colin for the wheel, and he's super helpful with that kind of stuff, and it makes it super easy. He has the graphics. He's there. He doesn't mind doing it. He's a nice guy. He's easy to help with it and deal with it. But it'll be one of those things that like we'll do the wheel type giveaway, make it super easy for everybody, and just chip away at it, and then pick a number, this and that. You win a prize. We send you that. You win this, and it's like I got some cool ass shit, dude. Like stuff that nobody's got, and it'll be one of those kind of things.
He's talking about Otho.
All the remaining.
You never know what you might get from. Like,
shit.
You never know what you might get from a crazy person like me. So.
So I have a question for all you guys. What do you guys like? We got the ogre last year. What do you think we're going to get this year at Legion's Con?
I know.
Do you? What do you mean? What we're going to get?
Like, remember we had that giant statue?
The giant statue.
I think we're going to get Thygar. I think we're going to get Thygar.
Oh man,
yeah,
that would be freaking awesome, and
I can't wait.
Yeah, I could imagine.
I mean, they have that giant 3D printed head.
Yeah.
So, without the spacesuit.
You know what? Personally, aside from Thygar, I would love to see like a full size Sphexian guard.
Oh man.
With the wings and everything, I would love to see that, like in a full-bodied, like, you know what I mean? You know, I mean, the ogre scale was really cool, but like
it was.
Said, if you're gonna do a cosmic, like one of the.
I think we're gonna get Thygar.
No, let's just hopefully they just do Slug.
Yeah,
imagine a big old thing in there.
Big old sucker.
Yeah. That would be huge,
God.
Man. Like that.
God.
I know what's being made, so I can't comment.
Awesome.
But I guarantee you guys don't have.
Again, man.
You don't have a guess.
When you're talking toy communities and toy, companies. I mean, who does it better than these guys with their displays, with the you know the beautiful dioramas that Brian Almeida made for them, both cosmic and I mean just ridiculous displays, you know. And then like I said, you bring a freaking 12-foot freaking ogre,
That thing was amazing,
and slap it right down in the middle of a hotel lobby, man. It's like
that was the
holy
coolest
shit,
thing ever.
man.
8'10", man. That thing
freaking massive, dude.
That thing was a monster.
Yeah.
I know. When Jeremy was saying and agreeing that he's like, they're hoping to make like the promo poster photos that lead in the Legion's Con like they did last year. That like I had no idea like Eric had one, but like I think Jeremy was saying that he wants to potentially print those out and have the new exclusive figures as the poster. And I was like, dude, it'll be like Trevor's Trevor's awesome photos, to where it'll be those big 6-foot long billboard posters of the skeleton and this. I'm like, oh my god.
Nate had a handful of those big banners. That banner that I bought with Nate's artwork on it, he had a couple of those available at Legion's Con. I was like, dude, I'm definitely going home with one of those.
I passed on that last year. I didn't have a place for it.
Yeah, I had a perfect place on my wall that it was just like the perfect size and everything. I hung it up in my room here. It's freaking like I said, it's beautiful.
When I saw that at your house that day, I was like, dude, I had no idea they were like. I remember running around and taking pictures next to them, but like I didn't even know that you had one. I was like, dude, these are freaking up. Like if they talk about doing it again this year, I'm like, man, I'm putting my name on like at least 2 of them. I don't care. Hang that in my dining room.
Yeah. Like I said, they're like it's not, to me, like I said, with all of it, like the con exclusives. I mean, it's not value. It's more of like I said, it's a personal memento to me to know that it's something that I came home with. It meant a lot to me. And even Nate, he signed it. Nate Barch, Legion's Con 2022. I mean, he's always personalized all my stuff. Like he did I have it on. You can see it back right there. I have one of his the Castle Grayskull thing that he did, and he personalized that for me. It says, Eric, you have the power. You know what I mean? It's like it's just stuff like that means so much more to me than anything outside of like what I used to, or obviously a lot of us used to deal with, was buying figures for their monetary value. You know what I mean? Or like, what can I flip this for, or this or that. None of that means anything to me anymore. I buy the figures because I love them. I'm part of the community because I love the people. I bring home, special things like the banners or the 2-packs because, like I said, it means so much more to me as a collector and as a community. And like I said, to just be part of it all and experience it all. It's just, like I said, those are just my personal like gems and what a lot of people would not consider grails, but these are my grails to me. You know what I mean? Having that Nate Barch freaking that banner, man, it's something that, like I said, I know not maybe a handful of people in the entire world have something like that in their collection. You know what I mean? And to me, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think Travis Boyles has the other set. And same thing, I think he had the guy sign it or Nate sign it. Yeah. But I think he has one of each of the posters in his collection room for that year, because same thing, he got those and has it in his toy room because he's, he was part of the exclusive that year and the reveal. And I was like, and it has like the Furious 4 on it and everything. I was like, dude, I remember seeing photos in his. I was like, man, that by all means, like, dude, that is like the coolest thing ever,
Hell yeah.
He's talking about stealing the statues.
Yeah.
Well, Curtis is kidding there because as it wouldn't be a century. It would have to be a century for Curtis to care.
Earlier, he did say, "I'd take a
10-foot tall century." Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a century.
Thygar.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a century. I think it's going to be Thygar.
Well, no, I mean, if it's something like that, my guess would be, and again, in case anybody's wondering, I never know anything. I don't know a damn thing about anything. I would guess Thygar.
Yeah, I would say Thygar.
Because I know, wasn't there a Thygar bust that was in the Succession show?
Yeah.
They've made a bust before.
It was at is the Wiz has it up in Sacramento actually. He bought it at the Design Con when they had it out there, and then they had a bust of the ogre of Kurzog at the show also. Somebody bought that. That's the one I don't know.
They sold that one at Designer Con, remember?
Yeah, that one, man. Someone bought that thing for like
$300,
$300.
Yeah.
They didn't want. So it was getting to the point where it had been used a lot.
Yeah.
And it started to get a little beat up a little bit. And instead of like trying to ship it back because it was expensive to ship, that they basically, from my understanding, is they sold it for what it would cost, for shipping and all that other type of stuff. I'm not 100% sure on that story, but they sold it to a collector, and then the whole like Thygar went to Is the Wiz, and he has it in his collection. He actually took a picture of it just the other day.
Side note, I almost right before they sold it, I almost bought that ogre bust at Designer Con. I almost bought that from them
for $300.
For $300, yeah, because I asked them how much it was, and it was like, dude, I was almost I'd like just like right there on the fence, like was ready to drop my card for it, and I was like, yeah, let me think about it, and I came back like maybe a half hour, 45 minutes later, and somebody bought it. Yeah, somebody bought it.
Yeah, it was at the end of the day type of thing.
Yeah.
And they were just like, we did. And it was crazy too, because they had all kinds of cool stuff at that show. And that was like one of the first times they had the fine cuts of like the Valius, and we got to play with that.
Yeah,
all kinds
me and Walter got to play with Valius. Dude, I was like, that was a moment I'll never forget when Cornboy handed me over their prototype of Valius and said, yeah, here you go, take a look. I was like, dude, are you serious right now? Like, no one's seen this shit. Like, this is so good, man.
Yeah, Eric's like sitting there holding it like a statue, like the Holy Grail.
Like somebody handed me like the Mona Lisa or something. Like, Jesus Christ, like what?
And it's like the first one they had gotten in, and then like CB's like playing with it on the table, trying to get it to stand and stir up, and Eric's just sitting there holding it like, dude, why the fuck are you giving me this? It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, that was so cool, man. Definitely.
There's all kinds of great times like that,
you know what's funny? Like going forward too, like I'm one of those people that have learned over the years, like, and that was another one. Is freaking dipped under me and snagged that Thygar bust. Because I saw it, and I was just about to, like, when the guys had a chance, because they were talking to a bunch of people in this, I said, what, I'm gonna actually come around and talk to Eric and see if maybe he'll be willing to sell that Thygar bust. And fucking went in and nabbed it, man. He
was after it for quite a while.
I was like, you bastard. I was like,
yeah.
So I know now, like, anytime I see some cool display or something that's kind of not part of the whole thing, I'm gonna be like, hey, are you guys selling that?
Yeah. Iz was after that for a while. He came in and he was doing his like guerrilla tactics of coming in and hanging out and doing his reviews. And he's hilarious.
Yeah, he does, dude.
He comes in, like, they'll have like a brand new figure, right? And they'll be like he goes, oh, hey, he's in here. He's like, oh, hey, here is the Wiz over here. We're doing the reveal of this fine cut. And I'm like looking at him like who the hell's this dude? Like, what's he doing behind the booth and the curtain back there? Like, he's creeping. Like, and then they're like, oh, that's Iz. He's cool. We've known him for like 20 years, and he's our lawyer. And I'm like, oh, okay. And but yeah, he'll come in and just do his, like, he's got his camera and he's just like in there doing his thing. And I'm like, and then like that same day he was, he got the bus and a few other things. And then like the guys all went to lunch, and like Iz and I are like left manning the booth, and people are buying stuff. And I'm like standing there, I'm like, dude, I'm not like, and they're like, well, you're fine. We trust you. Don't worry about it. I'm like, dude, I'm not like what? Like, what's going on? Like, suddenly I'm here in the booth and I'm selling Mythic Legions for like the first time ever. It's like years ago. And a line of people would come by and be like, oh, I'm going to buy a troll. How much? And I'm like turning around trying to figure out how much they are. And that was back when they, they only took cash, and like, I'm getting like handfuls of cash. And I'm like stuffing it in my pocket. Like I don't know what to do with this. And then they all came back and I'm like emptying my pockets. I'm like, here, Jim, here's money. Like, but I'm like, I swear I empty. I turn my pockets inside out. Jim just looks at me. He's like, okay, thanks, and just walks off like no big deal. And I'm like, I know these guys like me to death. If they're just when they all went off to lunch to go eat tacos, ironically, at the truck out front, and then they just left me and Iz, of all people, at the booth by ourselves to sell Mythic Legions at DesignCon. We were a bunch of clowns, like just like Iz had no idea what was going on, and he's looking at me. He's like, "Do you know how much these are?" And he's holding up a figure, and I'm like looking for the printout that they had.
The price sheet. Yeah.
I'm looking for the price sheet. I almost started like making stuff up, be like, I think they're like $35, and and it was ridiculous. Man.
$1 million.
$1 million.
That was when like Torgan debuted. We had we had Torgan at the show, and
and that was the first time I actually met Iz, and I bought my Torgan at the table, and Iz came up to me. I didn't know who I had just met him that day, so I didn't know his whole background with his YouTube channel and everything. And he's like, "Hey man, do you mind if I borrow your figure so I could do a review?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't care." I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "You don't mind if I open it up?" I'm like, "No, dude, I open my figures. That's cool." So there he went and ran behind the table, and he was shooting his little video. Hey guys, I'm here at Designers Con, and that if you look back at his review of Torgan Redfin, that's my Torgan Redfin that he used for that review. Yeah, that's how I was introduced. That's how I was introduced to Iz. Yeah,
he would do that at like every show I'd be at. I'm like, what is this dude? What are you doing, man? Like, and like I said, he'd be just like bent over in the corner, just like, like he's sneaking it in there.
Yeah.
Just he's a character, man. He's hilarious.
Awesome.
What you got there, Jonathan?
Oh, I figured it occurred to me that in the laundry room where I have some shelves where I have extra Mythic Legion stock in there, I have the one Malleus that I have that I've never opened. You
can inbox collectors.
Listen, I just don't have. I run out of time because I figured this would be as good a time as any to bust them open in honor of Waltorr.
Thank you. Ironically, I just got another one in the other day. I got somebody holding on to like another 4 or 5 of them for me.
What's the current count right now? The Malleus count?
I honestly don't know.
And 1 million.
Yeah, it's not that bad, but if
you have them in hand as a tribute to Waltorr, grab your Malleus, dude.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's one of those.
I'm catching up to you, Waltorr. I think I got 4 or 5 of them now.
Yeah, I got 4 or 5 waiting to come home. I need to go pick up. It's one of those things like I got into, and I love the Malleus figure, and it just reminds me of like the old Jason and the Argonauts, and And
how can you not, dude? The color scheme on this skeleton's probably by far one of the best, man. He's
my favorite. I for some reason I love the big old axes too, but but I don't know how many I have. I do know that if you have a DTOF, I have 6 of them in a row, and I have them on the top, and it fills half of that section on the top.
Yeah.
So he's like, and they are like shoulder to shoulder to where like if one falls over, it knocks like 17 of them down.
Yeah.
Sounds like that's happened before.
Seeing that Malleus army in person is mind numbing, dude.
Yeah.
When I went to your house and looked at that Malleus army on top of your details, I was like, Jesus Christ. I was like, I knew you had a lot of these things, but damn, I did not know there was that many. And it was cool because it's like, you think, well, it's just the same character again and again, but if you look at it, it looks really cool. There's like, I mean, I think I counted maybe 43 or 44 on top of that, all Malleus. I was like, dude, this is like spectacular, dude. I was like, this is so cool. I was like, I've never seen an army of like freaking one figure like this, and it just looked epic, dude. It just looked epic.
When I got one, it was cool. The first, like he was like the first. I like that barbarian builder first. Then I got another one, and then I got Malleus. And then I was like, dude, I need like a couple of these to like fight He-Man and the barbarians. And then when I got like 2 or 3 of them next to each other, I'm like, dude, this is cool. And this,
Yeah.
I mean, this is years ago, and Malleus was like still like $30-$35 to get.
Yeah.
And then he was slowly creeping up in price because he wasn't Tibius, he wasn't Ilgar, he wasn't like the red Clavian.
Yeah.
Like those other ones started to become hard to get, and nobody was selling them. Malleus you could still pick up like from the original Kickstarter, and you could buy them for like $30-$40.
Yeah.
And then when I first saw like a couple of them together, I was like, dude, these are like crazy to see them like in a row. And I would watch like Jason the Argonauts and all these other movies. Army of Darkness is a favorite of mine.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, dude. Hell
yeah,
yeah.
Evil Dead, Army of Darkness. Love that
Yeah,
movie.
I've seen that like the old one with Bruce Campbell like a million times. I
For,
know.
for each of you guys
Open.
here in the chat, like Walter's army build of Malleus, do any of you guys have multiples of any one figure in particular in your collections? I know for
Scaphoids.
myself, you have scaphoids.
I've got like 6 or 7 scaffold. I've got 2 open on my desk right now,
That's
and I've
awesome.
got like a few more like on the shelf.
I'll have to
Yeah,
send you.
that-
I'll have to
that's
send you the
definitely-
extra one.
That's definitely your jam because you're more of like the bright
colors.
greens. Yeah, the bright greens or the.
Well, this
How
guy's
about
a
you,
kid.
Dave?
That's
Any
with that.
multiples in your or army builders? in
I've
your-
used my multiples for customs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep
Ryan,
one-
anything for you?
It's between 2. It's Purplor and Chronol.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I think I got
multiples
like
of those.
Yeah.
6 or 7 of each.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
yeah, very cool. Mine is the 1.0 skeleton legion builder. I think I'm up to like 12 of that one.
Oh,
Yeah,
Wow.
that's
Holy.
definitely like one of my all-time favorite Mythic Legions figures is the 1.0 skeleton, the original
awesome,
Legion
dude.
builder. I fucking love that
Yes.
skeleton because, like he said, like Jason and the Argonauts, like
Mm-hmm.
that's totally Harryhausen, dude. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, like this is what
And
an action figure should look like. I mean, I was
And
like blown
I
away.
told you, and when I saw you at your house, I was like, I started getting some of those originally, but they just didn't have like enough color for me.
Yeah,
So I had gotten a Malleus, and then I started to get the other ones because they were even cheaper. And I was like looking at Malleus like all the time, and I had a couple of the basic builders. Dude, I ended up like giving them away because I was like, dude, like they don't have enough color for me. I love this. I love this green. Like Malleus looks like he came right out of the dirt. He's got the cool armor on. He's got the axes. And I was just like, okay, I need a bunch of these. And I started buying so many of those that like I affected the market of the aftermarket. Like
Right.
you would go onto eBay and like one would pop up and people were like $100. I'd be like, cool, I'll buy that.
yeah,
And then like 2-3 weeks later, there'd be like another one or 2 or 3 more. And it was like, okay, the last one sold for $100. Now, they were going for like 120 shipped or 100 shipped. I'd be like, cool, I'd buy that. And I just bought them. And then they really like after like I think Advent of Decay started showing up, they started to really kind of climb up because you couldn't get them.
yeah.
And there was like the weird rumor and some like the original like other groups that were like dude, this one guy's like buying all the Malleus's out there, and I'm like I know who that is. Like that's me. You know?
And David Williams says he's got 11 barbarian builders.
Wow.
That's freaking huge,
That's
bro.
a
nice.
good number
Awesome.
for those.
I think
Hell
I got
Good number.
I think I got about a dozen of the barbarian builders.
Yeah,
You got to.
yeah.
Yeah.
I had,
I wasn't even thinking about
Oh,
Legion
yeah.
builders. I probably have more than 6 or 7 Goblin Legion builders.
Oh
For
yeah,
sure.
gobbies I've had tons of, but like Dave says, a lot of the ones that I bought multiples of
using
throughout the years,
customs.
and there's tons of them that I probably have like 20 or 30 in my inventory, but
Mhm.
those are all that I don't consider those like part of my collection because I just use them for
They're
customs.
customized.
Right.
Yeah, they're just stock that I have, but actual
Yeah.
ones that I have in my collection, as far as like anything that I've actually army built in my actual display collection. Yeah, the skeletons were my jam for sure.
Yeah,
Dude,
Totally my
the barbarian builders, I love them. I think there's 6, but even though I still have 6, if they're on a table at a show, I try to grab at least
I do the same thing.
Oh
2 or
yeah,
3
yeah.
if
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
allowed at that point.
Yeah,
Yep.
I had about a case of them still left over, and used them all up now from our Sacramento show. And dude, those things are awesome. I had a bunch of those.
Yeah.
Curtis, all centuries, all day.
Oh yeah,
Oh boy, I'll tell you,
36 on the way.
36 on the way, dude.
Wow.
I should have been on that boat. I only got one
Yeah.
12-pack, and I'm kicking myself in the ass for doing that because I should have bought like 36 to 48 of those freaking things.
I got 3.
That's an amazing figure.
Yeah, that's one of those crazy things that it'll have like that Empire's like Star Wars visual where it's just like,
Oh yeah, massive armies
the
of
massive
those, yeah.
army, like that's
Yeah.
gonna
Yep.
look so cool. And then
Hell yeah.
Curtis being like a pretty damn good painter, bro. Like he can
fine.
paint
Ah,
those.
he's
fine.
average.
He's fine.
I mean,
He's fine.
I've seen better. I mean, I'm just
Bad
saying.
guy. He's coming.
Yeah.
He's coming now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's probably
But
gonna. But the screen's gonna go like black. It'll have white writing on it. It'll be like, you know, Curtis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey yo.
Hey yo.
Yo.
I wanted to.
one of those. It'll be one of those that too cool to see all that in the mass.
15
mass art.
Baron Volgars. That's awesome.
Wow.
Man. Baron,
I've-
that's a cool figure, man.
I've got
Definitely
about-
love the color palette on that. The purple and black.
Yeah,
freaking-
I've got about 12 or 14 of him also.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of them, and that's a good one to have because that's a named character, but because he's a vampire knight, but he's a knight. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can
yeah.
do so much with him. Like just
I
your
think
head
that's
and,
something that we could actually start as a community and start, like not raising awareness to it, but kind of like making that a thing within the community. Like, hey, like let's do some army building trades. Like I'm looking for scaphoids and I got so and so, and you know what I mean. So like if someone says, hey man, I got a collection of 20 scaphoids, I'm looking to add more. Like, what do you got? Like, you know what I mean? Like, or what do you need?
Yeah.
I got a barbarian builder. I'll give you for a couple of scaphoids or whatever. You know what I mean? Start trading up and just watch everybody's army building just like freaking grow exponentially.
I had a crazy one where I was buying up the demons at the time when they were still cheap, and when like cheap being like the last one I paid for was like $100, but when Azar and Zazar were cool, and I made them into like a tribe instead of being like individual demons, that make one or separated. Like I made them as like this demon tribe because they have that look to them, and I changed out their armor and this and that, and I love them kind of like together because like you get like this yellow tribe and this blue tribe, and it was like almost like an Avatar type movie thing. And then I'm like, dude, then all of a sudden like the prices on those things were like nuts. And I was like, I am not paying like $300 or whatever for this one figure.
Yeah, I remember that a while back when you had all those the yellow ones, Azar, right?
Yeah.
When you had all those Azars, the people were like, how the fuck do you have that many Azars, dude? Like those are like freaking like $200, $300 a piece for those things. And I remember you showed off your case one time and you had a bunch of them in your case.
I had like
Whoa.
6 of them.
Yeah. I was like, wow, dude.
I even sent one to Steven on the My Wife Is Gonna Kill Me podcast because he was joked about it. He was just like, oh man, I'm trying to get one of those guys. I just can't find it. And I go, I got one. I'm like, you want one? And he goes, really? I go, look, I'll offer to you this one time. I'm like, I'm going to say, you want one and I'll send it to you or shut up, and he was just like, I'll take it, and he thought he didn't think anything of it. Like, oh no, man, Walter's not going to really send this to me. And sure enough, I'm like, send me your address, within a week. And then he got back online, just did like a special reveal. He's like opening up this box from Walter and he pulls it out. He's like, oh my God, I can't believe this guy just sent me this. He's like, this figure is like $300 right now. And Walter had like a bunch of them just laying around. But yeah, I had like I joked about it. I would joke and say like, man, I'm gonna sell them all at once and go buy a Porsche, bro.
Yeah, right. At certain points, you could do that with some of these figures, man. Especially back then when they were just going freaking buck wild with the prices.
Yeah,
I love it more now too, going forward. That I know that a lot of people like that are new to the community, new to the line, that they're like, oh, I feel bad that I missed out on so much. But now going forward, I think the production rate has obviously, tripled in size. So it's like there's so much more of a chance that you could get pretty much any figure in the line within the last almost the last 5 waves, you know what I mean, without worrying about, oh, I'm gonna have to pay, $300, $400, $600 for a single figure because I missed out on the pre-order or the whatever. It's like now you just wait for the 4 horsemen to be at a show or post it on, hey, I'm in search of, and someone in the cabal will be more than happy to take care of you. I mean,
Dennis Derby just even today he put up a good selection of figures that he's like, hey, I'm just trying to make room. And Dennis is such a great guy. He wasn't he hasn't set any prices or anything yet, but he just kind of put it up there.
He posted some of the prices, and they're all fair.
Good.
They're all fair. I mean, they're all good prices,
So he was texting with me earlier, and he's like, "Is it cool as I do?" I go, "Yeah, Dennis. It's not a big deal. Everybody posts it." And he goes, and he sends me the photos before he posts it up. I'm like, dude, you got some cool shit, bro.
He's got some heavy hitters.
He does. He does.
He had
he has some really good stuff.
Faunus, and I was all you're gonna get slammed with requests. And
it was yesterday too. Chris, remember Christopher Dakovich that was up there at the meetup with us in Sacramento. He stopped by the house yesterday, and I sold him one of my all-ins of the Cosmics because he had missed out on the pre-order, and he was like, oh man, he goes, I'm just gonna get raped on the prices, and for retail or eBay prices. I said, dude, come on over, stop on by, and I'll just sell you one of mine. So he picked up. But that's the thing, like I said, now with the community and how much more there is available out there. I mean, I even know too, even though I didn't order extra Sentries, I mean, when I go to Legion's Con this year, I know I'm probably going to end up picking up 10 more at the table, you know what I mean, with no problem.
Oh, so. Yeah, there's going to be some figures that I need to pick up even more on. Even the Ackerman. I can insult the Ackerman. I have the ability to mute him and delete him and everything else. He knows. I'm not afraid of the Curtis. I love that dude.
Yeah,
it'll be fun, and it's so cool to see the community doing that kind of stuff. I mean, even recently, I got a collection in from a guy who was just like, look, I'm getting out. I've got too much stuff. My wife isn't happy. I need to get rid of stuff. And I go, well, do you need help selling it? He goes, you know what? Well, I'm gonna send you stuff. And he sent me this dude sent me his whole collection, and I was just like, holy crap. He goes, do whatever you want with it. Do this. I go, no. I'm gonna give these away to people. I'm gonna give these away to friends. I'll give these away to people that I know will enjoy it. And I'm like, as long as you're okay with that. He goes, he's like, you're the only one that I could trust with this. And I was just blown away. And it was like a legit box of stuff. The only thing he kept was a troll and his Waltorr tribute figure that he made. And I was actually bummed out because he had that, and I met him at PowerCon one year, and he painted up a figure of a Waltorr and stuff like that. But he gave me a box, and it was like a holy crap box. I started opening up stuff, parts, all kinds of things. I sent out plenty of figures to a lot of friends, and they were super grateful for it. And it's because I love those people, and I know they love those figures, and it helped them out, and they've helped me out. And it's also some of the stuff that I'll use for as giveaways back to the Cabal for when we hit 5,000. And he knows that too. So he's still part of the group. He's still part of the Cabal. He still follows and likes and enjoys it. He just went in a different direction. He's getting into RC cars and everything else. But it's so cool. I told him I wouldn't say who it was or anything like that. But the cool thing is he kept his troll that he loves to death, and he does the same thing when he goes out to shows. He'll bring his troll, and then he kept his Waltorr figure. And I was like, dude, that's crazy, man. But it's such an awesome thing. I feel like I took over your show, Jonathan. man. Thanks for being on here, you guys. Like,
You were invited.
has
It's
been
all
great.
about you today, dude. It's all
Yep.
about you today,
Yeah.
for
No.
sure, man.
Listen, yeah, we just wanted to, and
you know what? I'm happy that he got to, that Walter chose our show to right after his thing, that instead of doing like 12 other reviews and or interviews and leaving us for dead last. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thank you, Walter. Thank you for
No,
supporting
man,
our show.
Yeah, you guys are awesome, man. I did have a couple other people that were like, "Hey, if you're available," but it was like the middle of the week still, and I'm like, dude, like I can't do it on like a Thursday, or something. Like we gotta like give me the weekend or something. I'll be inside all weekend. I'm not doing anything. It's 107 outside. The last thing I want to do is, I don't want to like stop work and then be like race home to do that again.
Yeah.
So,
No, but I'm listen, I would love just hanging out with you and talking, even if we weren't online or anything. But
yeah.
I felt bad, but I couldn't help myself. I messaged Walter the night that everything was announced just to say congratulations, and I was like,
Oh yeah.
Also, I'm sure you got 1,000 people asking for your time, but if you want to come on and talk with us, I can't. I would love for that for you to be able to do that if you could.
Anytime.
And like Walter answered, right away, and he's like, yeah, just message me or whatever. So I appreciate it. I wanted to hear more from the man because that's sort of the biggest thing here. I think the set was an amazing announcement last week.
Yeah.
But really, it was everybody's reaction to it afterwards was just awesome, and it made you happy to be a part of that group you created.
Yeah, it was such an honor, and then being able to talk with my friends right away about it, and letting them know and having everybody text me and like I said, hanging out and BSing with Dave almost immediately afterwards, and him just going dude, can you believe that? I can't believe it, and he's blown away. I'm like, Dave, you're gonna kill me, man. This is so awesome just to have that excitement with my friends, and then everybody texting me was just the nicest thing. And like I said, the Horsemen and Jeremy and Joe and all those guys to do that, to do that for me is I never go into this thing and years ago expecting it and thinking oh, I'm doing this and I can't wait to work for the Four Horsemen, and I can't wait for them to make a figure of me, and I'm gonna make money off of this. Like I said, dude, I never would have thought about that in a million years. I'm just doing it for the love of it. And I told myself, I'm gonna be that guy that shows up like a whirlwind, and just I want to be able to hang out, be around my favorite toy company and the guys that make this stuff. I'm gonna be their friends, and they could have easily just blown me off years ago and just been like who's this crazy ass fan or whatever. But I told myself, I'm gonna be that guy that shows up at every event, goes to all their stuff, just to meet them and hang out and find all those people that like I said earlier, hang out and meet someone like Ryan, and him and his wife walk up immediately. I know who exactly they are, and I talk to them like I just seen them yesterday, and just have a smile on their face and be happy to see you. But not only that, to be that guy that's hey man, let me give you something for letting me hang out with you and coming to the show and doing this, and everybody's always humble about it. They're just no man, it's cool, but if you got a shirt, I'd take one. I appreciate it. And I'm yeah, here you go. Let me give you a shirt. You're happy to be here, be part of this with me, and I'm gonna let's go eat lunch later. I think every time I see Dave, it's okay, dude, we need to stop. Let's go get lunch. I want to hang you know where to go. We can escape, and I'll hang out with you and your wife, and let's go eat lunch, and that'll give us our 10 minutes of quiet time. Then the whole time we're talking about what the show's like and what did you get, and Dave's telling me dude, I'm blown away. They got all this here, and they got the new ones, and I'm I love all that stuff. And like I said, I wanted to be that guy, and it's not out of reach for anybody else to do it, but to give to give back to the community and to do something for everybody else is like, I mean, that's honestly what I wanted. I've lost track of how many shirts we've done. I've lost track of like how many figures I've given away. I've lost track of how many flights I've gone to overnight for like 2 days. And I told people, I was like, you know, because I've had a bunch of people say like, man, like, I want to do what you do. I go, no, you don't. Like you either do it or you don't. Like,
how many rings are there now?
Man, so like there's a good one. Like there's over 30 some rings now.
Is there really?
Yeah, and like that's one of those things that I had that ring made for myself just as like something cool that I thought would be fun. And then you know, someone like you know, Curtis wanted one. Steph actually ordered one for Dave because he's such a
for
great
our anniversary.
Guy. She hit me up in private and was like, Dave loves you, and Dave loves you. I got to get him something special. When I saw those rings, like, how do I get one of those rings? I go, Steph, like, don't worry about it. Like, we'll order one. You just got to find out like his ring size, like make up something, steal his wedding ring, whatever you got to do. You know, it's all that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, it's all those extra little things where, you know, the shirts and people have shoes and backpacks and flags and you know, rings and patches and all that stuff. Like Brian said, I need like bandanas and other stuff, bro. Like it's just a matter of trying to do it. You never know what everybody's gonna want, and then
I gotta take a road trip out to Arizona, hang out with Dave Williams for a couple days, man. I'd like to drop some ink, a cabal, some, you know.
Oh yeah.
Cabal tattoo, dude. I'd love to have that dropped one of these days. I just gotta find the right piece for it. I mean,
yeah, I told Dave the same thing. I'm like, dude, I ain't got much room, but I got room on my legs and stuff. And
hell yeah.
I'm like, I need to get that done. I have plans to get something done on my legs at Legion's Con. My friend Jamie, that's out there. I hooked him up with a couple figures that nobody had, and him and his buddy. And they were looking for a couple figures that like nobody had. And I was like, hang on a second. I made like 2 phone calls and I go, okay, it's being sent to you. And it's been like 2 years, but they were just like, still to this day, I talk to them like I talk with all you guys. They're like, you need to come out. We need to like tattoo you. We owe you so much for these figures. I'm like, no, you don't, man. Like, it's no big deal. But they're planning it for this year to where like I'll either do it up in the hotel room and then come down, or like in the lobby. I told them I'm like I was giving Jeremy shit about it. I was like, dude, we're gonna like fucking tattoo me and my leg right in the middle of the lobby while the show's like starting. I'm like, we're gonna make a spectacle of this. Like, and he's like, Jeremy was like freaking out, going, I don't think we can because like you need to have
insurance.
Health. Yeah, he goes, it's insurance and health code violations and this and that. I'm like, whatever, you know. And I'm like, he's licensed and in the area, and Jeremy's like, please don't do that. Oh my God, don't do that. I go, don't worry. I'm like, if I won't do that to you. I said, but if anything, we'll go up to the room and I'll do it in the room and do like a live feed or something.
For anybody watching on replay, these are all just jokes. We're all just
we're just joking.
I swear,
Until
Jeremy.
they're not.
Yeah.
Until they're not.
Yeah.
Oh no, I had this brand new tattoo already.
I know.
Why do I have plastic wrap on my arm? No reason.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I just cut myself. I need to cover it up.
It's a big cut.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome,
so
man.
We're like around. We are
2
right around
hours.
4 months away.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
4 months the other day.
Yep.
Yeah. So less than 4 now.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Let's go. Trust me, every time that clock ticks another tick closer, dude, it's like the anxiety starts building because, like, especially for us, like the customizers, man, we have so much fucking work to do. And it's like every time you think you're ahead, you just realize how far you are behind. You're like, oh my God, I got to do so much shit before the show.
That is definitely one of those things that, like, I don't envy any of you guys that paint and do that stuff because
Correct. 100%.
Well, once I get to the show,
imagine.
that's when I could take a breath. That's when I'm like, oh, I don't have to. I have like a whole 4 days where I don't have to paint or customize shit. I could just have a
get
good
there.
time and enjoy myself. That's why, like I said, I get to the show and it's a party all freaking 4 days that I'm there, man.
Oh yeah.
I just love
Eric,
it.
when are you coming in for Legion's Con?
I'm landing on Thursday morning around 10
Okay.
a.m.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
so I'll be, and then we're flying out. I'm bringing my son this year with me too,
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
because he just graduated from high school. He's 18. He's ready to rock and roll, so he's ready to go.
It'd be
And,
nice. Be nice to have him there. He's a good
Yeah,
kid. He can
yeah.
come hang out and help too.
Oh yeah, he'll be all over the place at the show. And yeah, we're leaving Monday probably around 4 or 5 in the afternoon, so we'll be there the whole time.
Yeah,
we're
we'll be up
not
there.
we're not missing a thing.
Are you
We'll
going
be
to
up there.
PowerCon, Walt?
Yeah, I'll be at PowerCon.
I
should
wish
be
I
at
could have made the
PowerCon.
flight out there, man. Shit.
Yeah, I should be there.
Oh, you gonna be there?
Yeah.
Awesome. I'll see you there, brother. We
Nice.
got some stuff.
I won't be there, but I will be there at the same time.
Dave will be there in a whole different
Way.
spirit. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Dave definitely helped out with PowerCon this year. I'll leave it at that.
Oh
Hell
shit.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Walt, again, I can't thank you enough for coming on with us. You're welcome, invited anytime. I just love talking all the stuff with you. Dave, same for you, bro. Like, thank you.
Yeah. I'm glad I could run the show for you and talk the whole time and ramble.
All good.
No,
man.
this is what I know. Speaking for myself, this is what I was hoping for, was to get, just hang out and just talk for a while, which is all this show really is anyway. It's just a chance for us to kind of come together and chat and talk about this stuff, and talk about the next time we get to do it in person, which is, I know, what we all want.
Yeah, it's been great because like the one of the last times I talked to Eric about that, he's just like, dude, I love doing this show. I get on there, I just talk with my friends. We just do whatever, talk about whatever. We have some subjects, but he's like, we'll be on for hours, just doing our thing. There's no pressure, no nothing. I was like, dude, that's awesome. Like, anytime, you guys. Like, this is awesome. I love that kind of stuff.
Hell yeah.
So
Appreciate you, Walter, man. Congratulations once again, dude. Like I said, it couldn't not have happened to a better dude, and I'm so glad to, like I said, have been witness to this and to be your friend and to have the personal experiences that I have had with you in the hotels that we've shared, in the bars that we've hit, and you know what I mean. It's just times that'll last in my memories forever, dude. And like I said, it just so proud to know that, like I said, you finally got your due, man. And it's just so great. And I can't wait to see what so many years forward bring all of us in this community and our friendships and stuff like this. It's just so great, man. Congratulations, dude.
Yeah, thank you so much. And same thing back, bro. Like, it's been like one of my favorite people to hang out with, like, anytime I get to see you. Dave the same way. Ryan, like I said, man, you're the happiest, nicest, quietest dude I ever meet when I see at those shows. I always feel like I'm like this whirlwind of craziness, and I show up and I'm like, hey, what's up, man? And he's just like
the nicest dude ever.
Yeah.
I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
Well, I know that's what's so good. Your wife's always so happy to same thing. It's just so awesome. And Jonathan, like, I always look forward to seeing you and your kid when you guys show up, man. That's always cool. And hey, man, I didn't get to like say congratulations on your sobriety on your post the other day.
Oh, that's right.
I thought that was very cool. As somebody that, like, I was up until I got married, I was sober for 32, 33 years, and then I got married and just drank myself to silliness. So, but I think that is awesome and very special, bro. Like, I'm very happy for you.
Congrats, dude.
Yeah.
That is awesome, but I don't think that was me.
That wasn't you?
I was just about to say, I don't think it was either.
Oh my God! No.
There's another Jonathan.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God!
Jonathan. Yeah.
Now I'm embarrassed, so I'm gonna just
no, not at all.
Yeah,
because I thought for sure, like, I was like, I'm like, wow.
Like, oh shit, is he trying to tell me something?
Yeah.
Like,
That's
thanks
why
Yeah,
for-
you
I-
drink
thanks for
way
being
too
sober.
much, bro.
You were
You drink.
confused. I was like, wait.
Yeah, as he's tipping a can, he's like, "Well, there went that
Yeah.
sobriety."
Yeah. Oh man.
But no, seriously, I do. I think I think I know who it was who posted that.
I'm gonna have to go
And
back.
I
and
did.
look.
I did comment on his post, and I think that is incredible. I think it's awesome for anybody out there that's doing that for themselves or their family, whatever they're doing it for.
Absolutely,
I'm 100%,
And
100%
And
behind
this
it.
is what happens when you drink too much because you can't
Yeah.
remember which Jonathan
Yeah.
you were talking to the other day.
Yeah, and you know,
I
we,
mean-
we all have our struggles that we try to fight through, and you know, whether it's, you know, like I said, whether it's drinking or you know, depression or being an inbox collector. I mean, we fight through it all. You know what I mean? So, and we're all here to support each other. So let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, if you're just a delusional
so
guy on you're just,
Yeah.
like you're some delusional guy on Facebook that
Takes over
apparently
other people's shows.
takes over shows and talks the whole time, and like I've been drinking since noon, and you know I don't know what the hell's going on either. I think I'm sobering up. That's what it is, and I'm just starting to remember stuff now.
No,
Oh man.
but it's all good. Anybody else have any final words?
No.
Dave? No.
Nope.
All right. Well, thank you again. It's been
Wait.
fun, man.
You
What?
got to tell them the number one rule before you go, though.
I got a special one for this week, though. So until next time, remember the number one rule:
There is none?
cabal above all.